Mike Missanelli Show, the start of another week, and boy, was it going to be a dramatic night tonight. We'll get to that in a second, but we first got to start this. You're fighting Phillies. They're on a roll. They've won now 5 series in a row. That's important to a lot of people. You win a series. They took 2 or 3 off a pretty good team in the Cleveland Guardians this weekend, and now they're home against the Cardinals. And as we stand right now, the Cardinals just 1 game behind the Phillies. So this is an important series as far as making the playoffs go. The Phillies have the 6th seed right now with 23 wins. And I know it's early in the season, but I'm going to keep updating this every day with the Phillies where they stand in this playoff hunt. But listen, I was watching last night. I love games that there's not a lot of runs scored, but the pitching carries them. I just love them. I love to see a guy like Zach Wheeler. It was a master class last night with Zach Wheeler with the stuff that he throws up there, the fastballs that were unhittable. He unveiled a split on a 2-strike pitch that was just off the charts. I just love it. And this on the heels of Ranger Suarez, who comes alive. But the big story is, and I know Ray would agree with this, the most important player in the Phillies lineup on the Phillies team right now is Mr. Kyle Schwarber. And we were debating last week whether you should re-sign him. Are you serious? Is this even a debate that you would not want to sign Kyle Schwarber with what he does at the plate? And he's just, the guy's lethal. And even against left-handed pitching, he's lethal. 306 he hits against lefties. And last night with a couple of big bombs for the Phillies. And then you got the Eagles opening the season with the Dallas Cowboys on a Thursday night. And then you got the draft lottery tonight. What excitement today. Bill Colarulo's with us. Ray Dunn's with us. Bill, are you excited? You bringing the Sixers to mojo?
I'm trying to bring the mojo. I'm rocking the Sixers T-shirt today because they need something to change. But if this season was any indication of how this is going to go tonight, they're getting the 7th pick, and it's going to OKC.
Oh, no, Bill.
That's how I'm feeling.
No.
I'm trying to lower my expectations.
All right, here it is. The 62% chance to land in the top 6. That's pretty good. Only a 10% chance to get the number 1 pick. But, hey, what are you going to do? You know, I actually am optimistic for the Sixers that they're going to be in the top 6.
You think so?
Yep. I don't think they're going to miss the top 6.
Now, even if they're in the top 6 tonight, they really got to creep into that top 3. I mean, would the 4th, 5th, or 6th best prospect get you excited?
I was listening. Not for me. I mean, I've seen most of these players, but I was listening to an NBA executive say that this is a pretty deep draft. So I mean, I don't know. They draft on potential anymore. They draft these young kids that come into the league, and some are better than others. Like last year was a bad lottery. For talent. This year, there's some athletes from 1 to 6. There's some pretty good athletes. So the Sixers will get a good athlete. To me, the only guys that make an impact immediately next year are the 2 guys. It's Cooper Flagg and Dylan Harper. And then you get the other kid from Rutgers who is a wing. He fits what the Sixers would do, but I think he's away. And he won't make an immediate impact for the Sixers, who need immediate impact. So as far as getting immediate impact from this, I don't think they're going to do it. But it's better than nothing.
Yeah, you're probably right. You're talking about Ace Bailey could be the forward that they could get.
I mean, listen, he's a shooter, but he didn't dominate college competition. And when you play in a tough league like Rutgers plays in, you don't make that much of a mark. I mean, how would you think he's going to make a mark in the NBA? Now, it has been done before because the NBA game is a little different. You get a little more freedom to show off your skills. But, no, it's Cooper Flagg, Dylan Harper, and then you got to cross your fingers.
Yeah, now, the one thing that Daryl Morey has done pretty well since he got here is draft. I mean, I know Tyrese Maxey, can you give credit to Daryl Morey for that one or not? I know he was here, but I don't know how much input he had in that draft. And then obviously the Jared McCain one looks like it was a good pick. We didn't see that much of him. So you got to hopefully, and Daryl we trust. He's got more wins than almost any executive in NBA history, Mike. You know that. He told you that.
He did say that, and I don't know. Did anybody check on that? Listen, I'm pretty busy this weekend, so I didn't get a chance to do my homework and check on whether he's the most winningest
he can't
general manager in NBA history.
I didn't even want to waste my time looking it up. He can't be. Because there's general managers who have won multiple championships, and he's never been to an NBA Finals.
Yeah, I don't know.
So I don't know. But look, let's talk about something better than the Sixers for a second. Let's talk about the Fightin' Phils, because you brought it up. 24-16 on the year. They've won 11 of their last 14 games. They've won 5 straight series, and I like to track this. They are 9-3-1 in their 13 series this season. They've only lost 3 out of 13 series. You keep doing that, you're going to win 95 games, you're going to win the NL East, and you're going to be in Red October again. And things are starting to look up across the board. I know Aaron Nola on Friday night has the rough outing, but you mentioned it. Ranger Suarez, what a bounce back. 7 innings, only gives up 3 hits, no earned runs, 1 walk, only threw 82 pitches over 7 innings. And in that game, Bryce Harper goes yard. Bryce Harper has a double. Like to see that from him. And then Wheeler does Wheeler yesterday. I mean, he's just unbelievably reliable. Also only gives up 3 hits over 7, no earned. But what I liked about yesterday, how about the bullpen coming in and shutting things down those last 2 innings? You had Alvarado in the 8th. You had Jordan Romano in the 9th. No earned runs from either one of them. And you look at what this team has done now in the month of May. At the plate, top 5 in home runs, hits, runs scored. Top 5 in slugging percentage, something that we've been asking for. You look at the pitching staff, top 6 in terms of ERA, top 5 in strikeouts, top 4 in opponent batting average and home runs allowed, and number 2 in whip with your pitching staff. This team is starting to click. They're starting to play really good baseball. I'm liking them, Mike. I'm feeling good about our Fightin' Phils.
You're always feeling good about it.
I am. I'm feeling good.
You are very optimistic. You have been optimistic that this bullpen is going to be good, and everything's going to come together for them, even the center field situation and even the left field situation. I think you're looking at it as more, well, I don't know. I don't know how you look at it. But I know you're all excited. You get excited by the temp.
Well, look, they
excited by the temp.
They were beaten.
Isn't that true about you?
No, they were beating bad teams before, but that Guardians team's a good team. And to go on the road and take another series, especially Friday night.
It was a good win.
Friday night, you get in there, what was it, 2 o'clock in the morning, late Thursday.
Uh-huh.
I heard Ricky Batalico on the postgame show Friday saying that's not an excuse. But come on, I mean, that had to affect them a little bit. So they dropped Friday night's game, and then they bounced back, winning both on Saturday and Sunday in Cleveland.
They got great pitching performances, which is what you're relying on, great starting pitching performances. I've never denied that. I look at one thing, and you know what it is. It's the bullpen. And Romano, his last couple outings, has been successful. So there you go. That's your guy. That's your guy that you think is going to improve.
I'll tell you, though. I think he is going to improve. He seems like he's a strange dude, man. Like, you see the way he comes out to the plate, and he's got, like, all these quirky things, and he's a little strange, man. Yeah. Like, I could see things going off the rails very quickly with him. He seems like a little bit of a head case.
Yeah, he's like Christopher Lloyd. He's like Doc, what's his name?
From Back to the Future?
Yeah, Back to the Future. He's a little like that.
Yeah, he's Doc. Wait, what was Doc's last name?
And he's like, he was also Jim in Taxi. You know, the kind of eccentric weirdo.
Yeah, I didn't watch Taxi. That's before my time.
Taxi?
I know what show you're talking about, but before my time. Wait, what was Doc's last name in Back to the Future now? I can't remember.
I don't know. Ray, you know?
I'm racking my brain back here. I got nothing for you. I actually saw the movie, too.
Did you?
Yeah.
It was just Doc.
No, he wasn't.
What is it?
Oh, Emmett Brown. It was Doc Brown.
Doc Brown?
Yeah.
He's Doc to me.
All right. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about your Fightin' Phils. We want to hear what you think right now. Are you a little more optimistic? They're in the 6th spot. 6th spot. Not moving up, but they're right there. 610-632-0975 is how you get into the Mike Missanelli Show. And we'll talk about the Truist Championship, which we had a chance to be at last week. Back after this.
We want to hear from you. So text us at 610-632-0975.
Cowboys over the season. What do you think of that, Billy?
I'm surprised. I mean, I don't necessarily hate it. I know some people are upset about it, saying that the Cowboys didn't deserve to open the season. I kind of like that the Cowboys are going to have to be there when the Eagles raise their Super Bowl banner. That'll be fun. But I'm just surprised because usually the NFL, they keep these division matchups for later on in the season. So I'm a little surprised, but it should be good. It should be good for the Eagles start up. How about this? You asked me before the show, what's the line? It's already a 6.5-point spread. Eagles are favored by a touchdown right now.
What would be the fashionable pick of a team not in their division that they could have played, that they would have matched them up with?
I thought maybe the Rams could have been one. I'm trying to look to see who else they have at home.
The Commanders are probably going to be the next up. But again, that's another division game. And so they went with a division game that had more of a global impact.
Yeah, it's interesting that they went in division. Oh, I had my trusty notes here.
Of course.
I got to find it. So here we go. Yeah, so they had as options, they could have played the Lions at home, the Rams, the Chicago Bears could have been an option. Like, I don't think they would have opened up against the Raiders. So when you look, or the Broncos. So I think it could have either been the Lions, the Rams, or the Bears. But they go with the big Dallas week, man. Dallas week and raising the banner.
I don't think you can go wrong there. Can't go wrong.
Well, and like Ray said before the show, this kind of, hopefully, absent an injury in the preseason, it ensures that you get Prescott versus Hurts. Because it seems like every year, one of those guys isn't available in that game.
All right. Well, listen, Eagle fans, you got that's going to be really exciting that week. They open up on a Thursday, get the Cowboys, and they stick it in their face with the raising of the banner. Oh, it'd be awesome.
The Eagles beat the Cowboys last year a combined 75-13.
Yeah. But they got Pickens now, so.
And they'll have Dak. Dak only played 8 games last year.
Yeah.
And they got a new coach, new coordinators. Everything new for the Cowboys.
Are we taking Dallas lightly?
I think they'll be better. I think the Cowboys will be better than they were last year. I don't expect them to be a playoff team, though.
No? No playoffs for them?
I don't think the Cowboys make the playoffs. No,
right, you feeling the playoffs for the Cowboys there?
I'm not yet to the playoffs, but I do think sitting back and looking at last year, they won 7 games where Dak only played 8 of them. They add Pickens this year.
Sounds like you're high on the Cowboys,
well,
right?
Well, you also look at the schedule. I mean, this is a league that's built on parity. They're going to have a much easier schedule than what the Eagles and the Commanders will have in this division. Do I expect them to win the division? No, but if they won 7 games last year with Cooper Rush and Dak Prescott out, and now they have George Pickens on that team, they're making some changes. Maybe we look at them and say, they've become the little brother, and they really have over the last 25 years, but it doesn't mean that they can't win 9 games and be in the conversation when we get to the end of January.
Their defense was so bad last year, though. Like that's where they really have to fix things, is on the defensive side of the football. Like Pickens will help them on offense. They added running backs. They got Javonte Williams from Denver. They brought in Miles Sanders, former Eagle, on that team.
Yeah.
But it was their defense. I was looking at the numbers this morning. They finished 31st in points against, 28th in yards against, and they had the 29th ranked rushing defense. So you would think the Eagles will be able to have their way with them, but man, we're talking football.
I love it.
It's May 12th. We're talking Eagles Cowboys.
How excited are you against with the Eagles opener? How excited? I'm excited about it.
We got schedule release Wednesday, which means we're probably getting W's and L's this week, Ray.
There you go.
I love it.
I love the W's and L's. A lot of people think that's no good.
Well, our very own John Kincade is against it.
Does not like it.
I remember last year I had them going 13-4. I got a text from my dad after I did my W's and L's telling me I'm crazy. And I guess I was. They won 14.
See the way he does?
Guess I was a little crazy.
Bill, you were right all along. I can't believe I said that sarcastically.
I don't know. People think it was real.
No, I don't think.
I actually got a message from somebody over the weekend who says they've been listening to you forever. And let me see if I could find this, because it was a lovely message. You are hilarious with Mike. I have been listening to him for years, and I've never seen him so flabbergasted on the radio.
You do flabbergast me.
It was a good word. Flabbergast is a good word.
Not a question. All right, on the other side, we got to talk about this Kyle Schwarber. I'm apoplectic, Bill, that you were actually doubting signing him.
Yes.
There are two guys in baseball right now that are dangerous as far as hitting a home run every time up.
Yeah, it's him and Aaron Judge.
It is. He's right there with Aaron Judge.
Yeah, it's wild, man. And you're right. I said that I would wait until the season's over. He's changed my mind. Like, sign him now. Give him whatever he wants.
You know how rare it is to have a home run threat every time you step into the batter's box? Harper doesn't even give you that. This guy gives you that.
And he's also hitting for average. He's 270
I
this
get
year.
it. He's become a better hitter, but the threat of him hitting a home run is just so valuable to a team. 610-632-0975. We'll talk about it. Mike Missanelli Show. Back after this.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Opening up against the Cowboys, I'm Ray Dunn. This update is brought to you by Bet365. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Download the app today. This morning on the Today Show, Mike Tirico announced that the Eagles will open their season on September 4th, Thursday Night Football against the Dallas Cowboys. For the Birds, it'll be their first opener at home since 2019. The first time the Eagles and Cowboys have opened up the season against one another since 2000. The full NFL schedule will be released Wednesday night at 8 o'clock. The Phillies took 2 of 3 over the weekend over the Cleveland Guardians, including a 3-0 win last night on Sunday Night Baseball. Kyle Schwarber was the star offensively, hitting 2 home runs for the Phils. Zach Wheeler throwing 7 scoreless innings. The Phillies finished their road trip 5-1. They now return home tonight to host the St. Louis Cardinals at 6:45. Christopher Sanchez getting a start down there at Citizens Bank Park. And tonight in the NBA, the draft lottery is at 7 o'clock, and the 76ers need their pick to be in the top 6 to keep it. The chances to get the number 1 overall pick, 10.5%. This update is brought to you by Discover. Did you know what's accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide? If you guessed Discover, you guessed right, based on the February 2024 Nielsen report. I'm Ray Down on your home for the 76ers and the Flyers, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Many years as I've watched the Phillies, I have never seen a guy step to the plate with the threat of a home run bomb like Kyle Schwarber. Now, Mike Schmidt hit 535 of them. I get it. He also struck out a lot. Ryan Howard had that aura. He struck out a lot. This guy is unbelievable.
He is.
I have never seen anything like a swing like that where he just generates that kind of bat speed and miles per hour off the bat. I've never seen it. It's flabbergasting to me how quick he is with his hands.
During the break, I was reading an article by Matt Gelb of The Athletic. He talked about Schwarber's bat speed this year is an average of 76.6 miles an hour. So that's 8th best in all of the majors. But, you're talking about his home runs. How about his 46-game on-base streak, man? Like, that's... Yeah. A home run hitter shouldn't be able to be doing this.
He's being very selective, that tells you, because he's getting a lot of walks and he's hitting a lot of singles the other way. And that's what I'm saying. That's what is separating when I look at him as far as the threat to Yak one. That puts him above even the Ryan Howard aura and the Mike Schmidt aura.
It's a pretty bold statement.
It's unbelievable when you think about it. He doesn't have the threat to strike out like those guys did.
Yeah, it's impressive, man, what he's doing. And the crazy thing is the 46-game on-base streak is the longest since one of the most underrated players in Phillies history.
Bobby Abreu. And Odubel Herrera, you mean?
No, I was saying Bobby Abreu.
You were thinking Bobby Abreu.
I was thinking Abreu.
For Odubel Herrera to be on that list is a disgrace. They shouldn't even mention his name.
I agree. As soon as I saw the graphic up and you see Herrera on there, it's like, how the hell did he do that?
By the way, have you been following my observation on Tom McCarthy and JT?
No, and
you have not. Huh?
Yesterday was Sunday Night Baseball, so he wasn't on.
He wasn't on, but
I've heard him say Real Muto.
No.
Right, remember we were talking about this last week. He says Real Muto.
No, he doesn't.
He said it recently because I remember clocking it saying I got to bring that up to Mike tomorrow. And
I said it recently. In what context was it?
I think we threw someone out at second.
Really?
I think.
I'm telling you, if he says Real Muto, the ratio is 1 to 2,700 of JT's. Well, he even said Harper. He says Harper before he says Real Muto.
I'm going to listen for it tonight.
You got to listen.
Because we're back on NBC.
I think it's fascinating. I don't know why it's fascinating to me, but it is.
All right. We're talking about the announcers. You just reminded me because I said Sunday Night Baseball.
Yeah. You don't like the announcers on Sunday Night Baseball?
I don't mind them. They're a little corny. But
Carl Ravitch is corny.
Yeah, a little corny. But they put up this graphic before the game, or I guess it was early in the game, about how is the window closing and all that stuff. And they're talking about the stars. And Brandon Marsh's head is on the screen.
Yeah.
That bothered me. Brandon Marsh isn't a star on this team. He's not driving this team to success.
There are guys you hate on this team. You hate Brandon Marsh. You love Rojas. By the way, what is it with Rojas and the belt?
The big, thick belt he's rocking?
He's got a weird belt on it. It looks like it's got remote controls on it, and it's got his number on it. No one else has that belt. You haven't noticed this either?
Hold on. You're accusing me of hating.
Did you?
You hate
seriously.
Rojas.
Has anybody noticed the belt?
I noticed it. Didn't bother me. But he does have a big belt.
Nobody else has that belt on. He wears this belt. It looks like it's got buttons on it for remote controls and the big number 23.
Wait, why would it have remote controls on it?
I have no idea. But it looks like it's got buttons. It's got like a pack or something on it.
Yeah, I got to take a better look.
Now, let me ask you this. Is he getting defensive signals in center field? Is that what that could be, a transmitter? And why would he be getting signals? He doesn't have a headphone in his hat, right?
I don't know. Stott does, because when they interviewed Stott last night, he asked them when they were doing the in-game interview, can you hear that? Can you hear the pitch comp? Because he's being told what pitch is getting thrown. Yeah. Did you hear that, Ray, last night?
Yeah, and sometimes when the pitch comp's not working, they'll go take Stotts from him.
Yeah, so Stott has one.
Is it possible that Rojas has that on his belt and not in his hat?
Maybe.
But he would have to have it in the hat because that's the only way you could hear it.
I'm trying.
What is this belt that he's been wearing?
Yes.
Is it just to be different?
Johan Rojas wears one of the team's 5 PitchCom receivers in his cap. It tells him what the pitcher
is
is throwing.
Belt.
Maybe it's the battery pack. Maybe it's.
Well, how
the
come
battery.
nobody else has a battery pack?
It's a good question. I don't know enough about the PitchCom system.
I'm telling you, this is just a way for him to stand out.
No, it's
Yes,
not.
it is.
You just hate this guy.
He's got 23 on the belt. Nobody has a number on their belt.
So last night he makes a decent catch in center field, but then he makes it look a little bit harder, jumping up against the wall.
Yeah.
And the first thing I thought is Mike's probably saying, look at him making it
No,
look tough.
I was focused on the belt. I don't know what the belt is.
I think it's probably the battery pack.
Somebody's got to tell me what this belt is. Otherwise, I'm going to say he tries to be bigger than he is.
You dislike him the most of any player.
I don't like a guy who hasn't arrived yet who thinks he's arrived. That's what I don't like.
So what'd you think of after Schwarber hits his home run, the guy dumping the double bubble on his head was Rojas? You like that? He seems like he's a good good clubhouse guy.
No, he has no license to dump the double bubble.
Schwarber liked it.
He's not big enough
Schwarber
yet.
giggled. I saw a giggle from Schwarber.
Giggled. We have anything on the text board?
We do.
Let's get to the text board.
Danny from Bucks County. Listen, I don't care if the Phillies win 140 games and Kyle Schwarber hits 80 home runs. He's a regular season player who can't come through when it counts in the playoffs. Bye-bye, dude. Win the freaking World Series, man.
He did already, didn't he?
See, yeah, that's just a hater. I mean, that dude has been spectacular.
Wait, Schwarber won a World Series with the Cubs, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
So he's done
And
it.
he had big moments in that World Series.
I'm looking at his postseason numbers over his career since
2016, he had big numbers in the postseason.
So how many home runs has he hit? He's hit 21 home runs in well, he's played a lot of games.
Listen, I get it. You want to produce in the playoffs. But what you're doing, like what you see right now, you're telling me that you would pass him up and resigning him? That a legitimate home run guy, every time he steps into the box, can turn around a game with one swing, and you're going to take that for granted?
No.
You can't. You can't take home run hitters for granted in this league.
Yeah, look, I get last season he struggled, but pretty much that whole lineup did. But in 2023, he was decent. In 22, when they go to the World Series.
Yeah, see, that's just a hater. I don't want to acknowledge a hater.
Here would be the only valid thing that I could see someone making the argument not to re-sign Schwarber. And I've come around. I'm saying re-sign him. But if the thought process was they come up short again and we want more flexibility to change things up this offseason.
Why would you not want to resign? What do you mean more flexibility? He's a home run hitter. He's essential.
But that would be the only thing.
Well, what flexibility are we talking about? What are you going to use that money for?
You'd have to go out and spend somewhere else.
It's $25 million. You mean to tell me you're not going to pay for $25 million for a 4-year contract for a home run hitter? Come on.
Now, I would do it. I'm telling you now, I have changed. I would do it. But
that's got to be part of your flexibility. Spending $25 million for him.
But let's play it out. Let's say the season goes, maybe they make the postseason, maybe they don't, but they lose in the division series again. They don't make a World Series.
I don't care.
Now you're locked in with Bryce, Trey, Schwarber.
He is the quintessential power hitter in the National League. Well, how are you going to do better than that?
Yeah, you're probably not.
You can't do better than a home run hitter who's maybe the best home run hitter in the league right now.
And especially now that he's hitting left-handed pitching, he's getting on base, he hits left-hand. I would do it. I was on record saying no. I would do it.
Is a no-brainer to keep. They're rare. 610-632-0975. Text or call. We got our leadoff hitter Greg from Bethlehem coming up. That's next.
Connor Thomas.
Show 97.5, The Fanatic. Draft lottery tonight. 7 o'clock, is that exactly when it happens?
Yes.
That's
7
what time?
o'clock.
Well, the start. I mean, I imagine just like anything the NBA does on ESPN, it'll be dragged out. But
They're going to do it the way they've always done it, right? Where they'll just show you the teams. They're not going to do what the NHL did, right? With the actual numbers.
and try and confuse you.
Yeah. I hope not.
I'm looking at a draft lottery prediction. Bleacher Report, I guess, does this. The number 1 pick in the draft goes to the Charlotte Hornets. They take Cooper Flag.
Okay.
The number 2 pick in the draft goes to your Philadelphia 76ers.
Number 2.
They take Dylan Harper.
Then if they do that, let's play this through.
Uh-huh.
They get the 2nd pick. They take Dylan Harper, which is the consensus number 2 pick. He's another guard.
They would have a solid 3-guard rotation.
So then I guess, do you let Grimes go?
Well, they have 4-guard rotation.
So now you got get it right. So you'd have Grimes, McCain, Maxey, Harper, or do you try to trade one of these guys?
I don't know, baby. You got to take the best player that's available there. Dylan Harper is. The Brooklyn Nets 3 take VJ Edgecombe. Now, this kid's an athlete. He's 6'5" guard. He's from the Bahamas. But I didn't see enough from him this year. He looked very passive. 4,
Skinny.
the Utah Jazz take Ace Bailey. 6'10" shooter. Now, his comparisons are like the kid Brandon Miller, who's in the league now, Michael Porter Jr., 6'10", who could shoot. Not bad. Not bad, but he's a long way away. Then there's the kid, the point guard from Oklahoma, Jeremiah Fears. There's the center from Maryland, Derek Queen, who played actually he was on that team with Cooper Flag in Florida. I'm not going here. Then there's Malawak, the kid from Duke. Then there's this kid, Trey Johnson, who the Sixers would be interested in. 6'6" wing player from Texas.
Now, you're looking at the Bleacher Reports, Sam, right?
Yeah.
So I just went on, as you're talking, on the Tankathon website, and you can simulate the lottery tonight.
Yeah.
I clicked the button. 76ers 7th overall pick goes to OKC.
See, I just got the 2nd overall pick, so I'm feeling much better than you.
My God.
You never tell, man.
Let me sim it again.
Don't go by it. Don't go by your sims.
I just simmed it again. I got 6.
All right. Well,
How many times is it going to take you to get a better pick than I got my first try?
All right, 3rd time I got number 2.
there you
Okay,
go.
3 times.
Number 2, Dylan Harper.
I did it again. Got number 7. If they get number 7 and it goes to OKC, it already was maybe the biggest disaster we've ever seen from a Sixers team because of the expectations and then where it finished. But if they also lose their pick, even though they tried their hardest to tank to get into the top 6, I mean, you're talking about literally the worst season we've ever seen in Philly sports history.
From that, they would only have one choice.
What would that be?
Trade for Antetokounmpo.
They're not going to get him, though. I would do it.
Maxey? See ya.
They're going to run it back. He told you they're running it back.
See ya. See ya, Max.
I turned on the radio.
The Bucks have to start all over. They start all over with a young guard, dynamic guard.
I turned on the radio Sunday as I was driving back from Ocean City, put on the Fanatic, and I heard your voice again.
Huh?
They were replaying the interview.
Oh, really?
And I listened to probably half of it again. And I think I was more annoyed this time. Did you hear it again too, Ray, when you tuned in?
I did.
He's got to regret some of those answers, man.
I mean, the winning one is just all time. Like, that's just something we'll have forever. Really. When you think back on this era, no matter which way it goes, you're going to remember him off a 24-58 season with them teetering on losing their draft pick because it's top 6 protected. They somehow landed in the top 6. You're going to remember him telling you that all he does is win, and he's never been to a finals. It's just an awesome quote.
Somebody's got to do some homework for us. Is he the most winningest executive in the history of this league? Well, I don't even know what that means. It's so vague. What does it mean?
It is. Because they're not all called president of basketball operations, right?
That would be an awesome
Yeah,
awesome way to spin that.
He's not using that as to get out of it.
When you go by my title, technically, I'm the most successful there's ever been.
All right. Let's hear the song, Ray, because our leadoff hitter is up next. There we go. There we go.
I go to the bar.
It's Gary from Bethlehem.
Yeah.
I call a bartender. I said, look, man, come down here. You got down there. So what you want?
The one bourbon, one scotch, and one beer. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, here he is, Dr. Matt Elf. Greg from Bethlehem. Hello, Greg.
Gentlemen, I always enjoy that walk-up song. It puts me in the mood.
Had a guy.
Yeah. I usually am critical of something going on with the Phillies, but, this time I'm just amazed at Schwarber's production. He's must-see TV. I don't think I've been as excited to watch one of his at-bats since the big piece. And he doesn't strike out, I mean, it's amazing that he has the power, and yet his on-base percentage is good.
He's the most highly anticipated at-bat that I've ever seen. Really, I'm telling you. Now, that sounds like an overstatement, but and I watched Schmidt's whole career, and I watched Ryan Howard's whole career. But you always feared the strikeout with both those guys. I never fear the strikeout with Kyle Schwarber. I always think he's going to get a pitch so he can rip.
Yeah, he's just amazing, really. I don't think his swing would be a classic swing that you would teach a kid, but somehow he makes it work.
He's loose, which takes the tension out of his swing, and yet he generates such bat speed because of the great hands and wrists.
Yeah. Yeah, it really is enjoyable to watch, and it gets your juices flowing.
Yeah, it's amazing. Like, he stands out. Chase Utley used to stand out to me for that. Loose. Bam! And I said, that's the best hitter I've ever seen. And
Yeah,
Schwarber is the
short-
most anticipated power hitter I've ever seen.
Right, and Utley had a short swing also.
He did. How they generate that kind of bat speed is like that's all in your forearm, hand, and wrist area.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing, really. I'm glad Harp seems to be finding his timing, and if Turner keeps hitting, with those three hitting, we really have something going.
Everybody picking on Trey. All he does is hit, no matter what. All right, Greggy, you got it, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not being critical of him.
No, I hear you. I got that kind of bat speed in wiffle ball. I was playing wiffle ball this weekend.
Yeah?
Yeah, I got that kind of bat speed. I'm left-handed.
Dude, you're going to mess yourself up. You're golfing, wiffle ball, and you're playing baseball.
Nah, wiffle ball is. I was watching ESPN, and there was a pro wiffle ball game on Sunday. You see this, Ray?
I did not, but this is like a dream for me.
There's a pro wiffle ball league. Have you seen it?
I've seen it. I've seen that there's a pro wiffle ball league.
I did not know this.
There's a pro wiffle ball league.
What, do they use a lawn chair as the strike zone or no?
They use something as a strike zone. Like that, it's like a stand that has a square on it. But these guys are throwing this hellacious breaking stuff with that wiffle ball with the holes in it.
Yeah. Probably hard to hit.
You hit little dribblers. 610-632-0975. Mike Missanelli Show continues.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Opening up against the Cowboys. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. This morning on the Today Show, Mike Tirico announced that the Eagles will open their season on September 4th, Thursday Night Football against the Dallas Cowboys. For the Birds, it'll be their first opener at home since 2019, and the first time the Eagles and Cowboys open up against one another since 2000. A fun fact about that one, none of the players drafted by either franchise in this year's NFL Draft were alive for that game. The full NFL schedule will be released Wednesday night at 8 o'clock. Elsewhere in town, the Phillies took 2 of 3 over the weekend over the Cleveland Guardians, including a 3-0 win on Sunday Night Baseball last night. Kyle Schwarber hit 2 home runs, and Zach Wheeler threw 7 scoreless innings as the Phillies finished their road trip 5-1. They now return home tonight to host the Cardinals at 6:45. Christopher Sanchez getting the start for the Phils against the Cardinals tonight down at Citizens Bank Park. Tonight in the NBA, it's the draft lottery at 7 o'clock, and the 76ers need their pick to be top 6 to keep it. The Sixers' chances to get the top pick overall is 10.5%. This update is brought to you by the New Jersey Division of Highway Traffic Safety. 2 guys drove home. 1 guy wore a seatbelt. 1 guy didn't. 1 guy made it home to his family. 1 guy didn't. Click it, don't risk it, from the New Jersey Division of Highway Traffic Safety. I'm Ray Dunn on your home for the 76ers and the Flyers and NBA playoff action. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
this weekend, and it's funny because we were looking at Philly cricket for anybody who's ever played there. It's like, oh my God, Philly cricket, it's so tough. And then we were looking at it like the pros will eat it up, but they didn't. The course had 2 days in between, which really made things difficult for them. I mean, even yesterday with the conditions pretty good, the pin placements, the tee box setup made it a difficult course to the point where they were shaking their head over after a few holes.
It held its own, man. It really did. I had said I thought 30 under was going to win it, but it turns out the course got tough. And Philadelphia, I said this when we were there on Thursday, we always show out when it comes to sporting events. What a weekend. Like, you were there on Saturday. They had to close down the fan shop because they sold out.
Yeah, they closed it down on Sunday. It was sparse on Saturday when I went in there. I got in there about 1:30. There was nothing left, really. So they wound up closing the whole thing. They had nothing left to sell. But Sepp Straka wins, the big Austrian. But, it's funny. I always look at him. I go, where's the Austrian? He doesn't sound at all like he's foreign. He went to school in Georgia. He was here. They moved to Georgia when he was like 15. Can he be still considered Austrian?
I guess.
He's on the Ryder Cup team, the Euros.
Now, did you see after the round, and he wins, he gives a shout-out to the Eagles because of the Georgia Bulldogs?
Yes, he did. Now, which leads me to my next question. Because you heard a zillion Go Birds out there.
Yes.
Go Birds!
I even heard, as Lowry and Straka are walking up to the 18th green, I heard a E!
Yes,
Hey!
yeah, Eagles cheer.
Eagles chant.
What, violation?
Nah,
Nah?
it's Philly, man. I liked it. Not a violation. Now, if they're doing it in somebody's backswing, violation. But when he's walking up the fairway and everyone's cheering, I think it's acceptable. I think the Go Birds it's Philly, man.
But there were also some, Go Birds, gratuitous Go Birds thrown out there. Like, I can see Straka, he's a Georgia Bulldog fan. They got a lot of Georgia players, the whole bit. You Go Birds to him. But just, a random Go Birds.
I
like,
love it.
Baba Booey. They said
remember those?
Go Birds, or in the hole, Go Birds.
The getting the whole thing is overdone. Especially,
who would say that? What kind of a douche would say that?
Well, not only do they say it, it could be like a par 5 and the guy could drive it.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, he's still going to be 200 yards away.
I don't understand the mentality of people.
Get in the hole!
Yeah. I don't understand the yelling out at a golf course. I really don't. It's like, what are you yelling to?
Yeah, I mean,
what are you yelling out at? It's a golf tournament.
I personally wouldn't do it, but the Go Birds I like. It's just a reminder, you're in Philly. You're in Philly, man. And Philadelphia really showed up well. Not only the fans, the course, the area, everything about it, that you had a lot of these PGA Tour golfers saying this should be a permanent stop. The Northeast Philadelphia should be a permanent stop on the PGA Tour.
I had a chat with a broadcasting legend over the weekend. And I'll tell you, after I tell you that you're listening to the Mike Missanelli Show, WPEN HD1, Burlington, Philadelphia, Beasley Media Group Station, broadcasting live from the Comcast Business Studios, powering possibilities. So I played golf at my golf course on Saturday morning and then went over to the tournament after that. And I'm sitting there at the caddy stand there after we played, and we're divvying out the money and paying the caddy and the whole bit. And who rolls? A big Escalade rolls up. And it's a car, a transport car. And out of the passenger seat walks Mr. Jim Nance.
Wow. At White Marsh.
He wanted to see, he was there Thursday also, and he came back to give our pro a hat. And he apparently loves the course when they used to play a pro tournament there. But this is my, so here's me. We're in the pro shop. He's in there, and my golf pro introduces me to him. And, I had a little chit-chat with him. I did not ask him to take a picture. Would you have done, because, listen, I could have posted on social media, but I go, I don't want to be a pain in the ass to the guy. I just said hello to him. He said, well, what station, you're in Sports Talk Radio, what station? I said, 97.5 The Fanatic. Oh, yeah, it must be really great being Philly. He was the nicest man on earth. So now I would go, should I ask him for a picture, or should I even go a step further and I say, hey, by the way, Jim, can you come on the show? I did neither because I left them alone.
I usually lean towards leaving people alone. I hate when they get bothered. Picture no. You should have said, do you want to come on the show?
Do you want to come on the show? That's how I should have said.
I think you should have said, listen.
Do you want to come on the show?
Here's what you should have done. You should have gone over him and said, I don't know if you know who I am, Nance.
No,
But you should. And I do a show with Bill Colarulo and Ray Dunn. You may have heard of those guys. You should be on the show Monday morning. We'll do you a favor and let you come on.
Let me get a sensible viewpoint in here. Right.
I would not have worded it, do you want to come on the show?
Yeah.
Because you open yourself up to get dunked on in the worst possible way.
gotta be
Like,
honest.
no, thanks. I'm good.
No way.
I didn't even think to ask him to come on as a guest. I just was respectful of the fact that he was there, and I go, do I want to be a pain in the ass here?
No, I think
just
you handled
wanna
it.
Say hello, but then I go, well, it would have benefited the show, would have benefited maybe the people. Maybe it would have been nice to post the social media picture. Like I don't think that way.
Now, honestly, I'm busting your chops. I probably would have handled it the same way. The guy's there. He's not there as Jim Nance, the broadcaster. He's there as Jim Nance, the regular guy hanging out. So I wouldn't have bothered
him. He wanted to see
him.
the course. He wanted our pro David to take him around. And, in fact, he gave a shout-out to White Marsh at the end of that broadcast last night. It was in the home stretch.
Yeah, you showed me before the the show. They did a whole overview.
They had like an overview from the blimp.
It is a beautiful
of the course that's down the street. It's right down the street from Philly Cricket. But in any event, he was a nice man, and now I kind of regret it. Because you asked me today, well, did you ask him to come on the show? And I go, now I feel guilty.
Yeah, look, Ray and I, everything we do is for the betterment of the show, and we know that you don't think of it that way. So,
see that? You're such a passive-aggressive pain in my rear end.
Now, look, at that moment, I wouldn't have thought it. Now, in hindsight, we were
here's what he said to me. I had the USA hat on.
Oh, wait, you actually spoke to him?
Yeah, I had a conversation with him.
Oh, wait, this brings it to a whole different level now.
Wait. Where have you been the last 10 minutes?
Wait, I
had a conversation with him in the pro shop.
I thought that he was just there. You happened to be there. You saw him in passing.
No,
I didn't realize you talked to him for an extended period of time.
My golf pro introduced me to him.
Yes.
This is one of our members. He's a famous sports talk radio host. Blah blah blah. So we had a little conversation. And I thought
it was just like a, hey, how you doing, Mike Missanelli? Oh, Jim Nance.
I also have my USA hat on. You know the USA hat that I wear? You don't even know. It's ridiculous.
You have hats?
I had a USA hat on. He says to me, I like your hat. He goes, is that a Ryder Cup hat? I go, yeah. I go, wait, you don't have these? Jim Nance, you don't have a Ryder Cup hat? Like, I got it's the 2018 Ryder Cup hat when they were fans. Like, you don't have a hat like this?
He doesn't have one? You should have given it to him.
He's got probably 1,000 hats. He was just trying to be nice.
Wait, so how long did this conversation last?
Like 3 minutes.
See, I thought, and people in the chat, some of them are agreeing that they thought the same thing. I thought it was kind of just like, he was there, you said hello, he said hello.
He showed up, I saw him. I had to go in the pro shop to get it. I was looking at to buy something. And then he comes in with our pro. And so, as I'm on my way out, he was near the door. And the pro goes, oh, hold up. He goes, I want to introduce you. And he introduced me to him. He goes, he does sports talk radio in Philly for many years, blah, blah, blah. So Nance and I had a little conversation. He goes, oh, really? He goes, must be really good to do sports talk radio in Philly. He goes, what station? I go, 97.5 The Fanatic. He goes, oh, that's awesome. And he goes, well, hey, I like your hat. So we had like a little,
This is getting worse for you now. Because the ice was already broken that you do a show in the city. And he said, it must be really fun to do a show in the city of Philadelphia. Then you could have easily said, it is, Jim, and I know my listeners would probably love to hear you if you ever want to come on.
You're probably right. I wasn't thinking fast enough on my feet.
You should have given him, people in the chat are saying you should have given him the hat and said, hey, come on my show, this Ryder hat's yours. I'll even have Bill Colarulo sign it for you.
The hat had a sweat stain on it.
Maybe he would have wanted it. A nice used Mike Missanelli hat.
No, there's no way I was going to offer him the used hat. I mean, Jesus.
Wait. Was I wrong, Ray? You interpreted it as a full conversation that they had?
When Mike said we had a conversation, I thought they had a conversation.
I heard that, but I thought it was... Did you think it was this is Mike Missanelli. He does radio show. You thought it was to that extent?
Radio show.
He does radio show.
This is Mike. He
This
does
is
radio
Mike.
show.
He
This
speaks-
is Jim. He announced golf. Say hi.
Yeah, Ray knew it when I said we had a conversation. That was the tip-off.
He does radio.
Jesus God.
Usually when Mike
Oh, I
has
really had a conversation with him. No. Well, what does conversation mean in your dictionary?
I thought you were playing it up.
when Mike has a passing interaction with someone, usually Mike's way of describing it is, hey, one time I saw fill in the blank person, and I said, yo, and whoever the name is, and it's like,
Right.
and that was it.
Right.
That's what I thought it was.
Like Steven Tyler. Yo, what's up, Steve? Like that. But
That's how he tells those stories.
This was his actual conversation, and he couldn't have been nicer. A nice man.
And he
Took the
loves
time.
White Marsh.
He does. 610-632-0975 is how you get in. We get Phil in Northeast Philly. He wants to talk about the Sixers picks. Your call at 610-632-0975 and your text. We'll go back to the text board after this.
ESPN's Adam Schefter. I believe that.
Mike Missanelli Show, 97.5 The Fanatic. Do we have that soundbite of Daryl saying that he is the most winning? I want to get it clear. I want to make sure he said. Did he say playoffs or did he say just in general? We have it.
I think he says playoff series. Let's hear it.
Let's hear Daryl talk about his winning record.
I mean, it's the first losing season I've ever had. More deep playoff runs than pretty much any executive in league history. I've never been to the lottery. That's, probably because we only win. So I'm pretty good at the winning thing.
All right. So he said more deep playoff runs.
Which I guess technically he's correct then.
He's correct on another level. Because I just checked it. The most wins as a GM, an active GM in history. So you could, listen, the most tenured GMs, you could make Popovich a GM, I guess, right? Popovich was their GM.
Well,
Riley is their GM. Sam Presti is the longtime GM. Those guys are the only guys that have the longest tenure. Daryl Morey as a GM is 865 and 575. He has 865 wins. Presti has 813 wins. Riley has 787 wins.
That's all Riley has in his career?
As a GM.
Interesting. So, Morey's right? Is that?
Oh, don't I feel like the ass?
Wait, so Morey's right?
He said, as far as I can tell, he has 865 wins, which is more than Sam Presti, who is considered the most successful GM going right now.
And then we got tagged on Twitter about active GMs and playoff wins by a listener. And Morey has the most playoff wins of any active general manager. So Morey was right.
All right.
Ray.
Come on. What do we qualify as a deep playoff run, by the way? Because if you've been to 2 Western Conference Finals, and I get, you ran to the Warriors. Yeah, bad luck, bad timing for you to be doing your thing. Understand on that one. But deep playoff runs, are we counting the second round as deep playoff runs? Because in that case, the Sixers have been on more deep playoff runs than a lot of teams in the league over the last couple of years. We should be grateful. We should be thrilled with how far they've gotten.
It's a specious statistic because if you're not getting past the second round, what are we talking about? Deep playoff runs.
Right. You won a series.
Yeah, compared to other teams that don't make the playoffs or are lesser than seed-wise.
Look, the bottom line should be championships or at the very least finals appearences.
Well,
he doesn't have either.
Now we're slicing it a different way.
Well, I mean, really, shouldn't that be what it's about, though? Like, if you looked at any other, look, we tout Howie Roseman as being the greatest general manager in all of sports, definitely the best in the NFL, all this. If he didn't have Super Bowl appearances or Super Bowl wins, we would not be saying that about Howie Roseman simply because they make the playoffs. Like, you have to get there. You got to win it.
Popovich wasn't really the GM. He was really he ran the team for a few years. R.C. Buford is the GM of the Spurs. So Popovich said, but so the only 3 that have been around as long, it's Morey, it's Sam Presti, it's Pat Riley.
Gotcha. And Riley's won a title.
Yeah, but he has more wins than Riley.
Can I get a ruling here? You can't talk about your winning abilities if Trae Young's been in a conference finals more recently than you.
And pretty soon, Tyrese Halliburton, too.
Halliburton was in one last year.
Oh, that's right. He was in one last year. You're right. He's going to do it again.
He's going to go back-to-back. He might win a game this year in the conference finals. Did not do that last year. People do like to forget that.
By the way, I think my egg sandwich bet with Mike is looking pretty good after that big win by Boston on Saturday.
Oh, really? I didn't know they took the lead in the series.
You just watch, Mike.
By the way, who bet the Celtics?
Did you? What, are you hedging your bet so that you could cover your egg sandwich bet?
You kidding me? Who bet the Celtics?
They're going to win tonight, too.
What else did I cash in on? I cashed on a couple of NBA tickets.
Did you take the Pacers?
No, I did not.
Dude, that game, they lapped them by what, the second quarter?
The Cavaliers are falling apart, man. It's a shame. Let's go to the phones. Phil in the Northeast. Phil, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. What's up, Phil?
What's going on, guys? Big night tonight.
Yeah, it is a big night. What do you think? What are your instincts telling you?
I think we get a top 4 pick, right? And if we get a pick that falls 4, 5, or 6, I think it's as good as going. Because I've been studying Morey since he's been here and how he does certain things, what he thinks, his certain philosophy. I think he's going to go after Giannis. If we get that, if we get 4, 5, or 6, he's packaging that pick
With Maxey.
and maybe Max for Giannis.
All right, there you go. 4th pick in the draft and Maxey for Giannis, Bill. And you take back something else.
So then you're rolling with
Or you
Joel, Paul George, Giannis, and then I guess Grimes and McCain.
Yeah.
Sign me up. It's something different. Sign me up.
You're all over it.
Yeah, he only sees superstars, and I think he knows more than what, of course, we know about Joel. But he knows Joel is no longer superstar status anymore. It's not going to be.
Yeah, the problem is that the Houston Rockets could give them a lot more than the Sixers.
Well, so then that begs the question: do the Bucks want quality or quantity? Because no other team can offer a top 30 player and a top 6 guaranteed pick.
I don't know about that. Houston's got a couple first-round picks that sit on their bench, plus they got a sore Thompson.
Yeah, it will depend on how much they value Tyrese. Like if the Bucks really like Maxey.
Houston can give them more.
Tyrese is a top 30 player. Nobody else can.
Yeah, I don't know, but they can give. They can give. The Milwaukee Bucks need more than one player because they're going to melt it down. So if they can get 3 players out of Houston, that's a better deal for them.
3 marginal or mid.
Not marginal. Sir Thompson's going to be a star in this league. They got the kid Jeff Shepard, who rarely plays, who was the number 1 pick. They got Cam Whitmore, who was a number 1 pick. They got number 1 picks sitting on their bench.
Right, but all their salaries may be equal $20 million. They got to get to 55.
I get it. Yeah, you're right.
But
the salary part might be different.
Yeah, if we don't get 1, 2, or 3, that pick's gone.
All right.
So we'll see, man.
You got it, man. Appreciate the call.
I wore the Sixers shirt today trying to bring the mojo. And I just found something out during the break that I think is a bad omen for the Sixers tonight.
What's that?
So we need the lottery balls, to bounce the right way tonight. Mm-hmm. Today is the anniversary of the quadruple doink Kawhi Leonard shot.
Oh, is it?
So the ball did not bounce their way on May 12th. 2019. I think it's a bad omen that we need the balls to bounce the right way tonight on the anniversary of that shot.
You know what it also is the anniversary of? The move catastrophe in the 80s, which I covered.
The what? The what catastrophe?
The move. What? Are you kidding me? You don't know what the move bombing was? Wilson Good and the whole bit? They bombed the neighborhood? What is wrong with you?
Right, you know what he's talking about?
Yes, I know what he's talking about.
How do you not know about the move bombing in your own city, where they put a bomb on top of a bunker to get the move people out of there? Oh my God, Bill. 610-632-0975. Back after this.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Opening up against the Cowboys, I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. This morning on the Today Show, Mike Tirico announced that the Eagles will open the season on September 4th, Thursday Night Football against the Dallas Cowboys. For the Birds, it'll be the first opener at home since 2019, and the first time the Eagles and Cowboys have opened up against one another since 2000. The full NFL schedule will be released Wednesday night at 8 o'clock. The Phillies took 2-3 over the weekend over the Cleveland Guardians, including a 3-0 win on Sunday Night Baseball last night. Kyle Schwarber hit 2 home runs. Zach Wheeler threw 7 scoreless as the Phillies finished their road trip 5-1. They return home tonight to host the Cardinals. 3-game set getting going at Citizens Bank Park. It's a 6:45 first pitch with Christopher Sanchez on the mound for the Phils. Tonight in the NBA, the draft lottery is at 7 p.m. and the 76ers need their pick to be top 6 to keep it. The Sixers' chances of getting the top pick is 10.5%. This update is brought to you by Macy's Backstage. What you find at Macy's Backstage: how about essential warm weather styles, $30 and under, like dresses, shoes, and bags, men's and kids looks. Find the latest trends, new arrivals, and great prices at a Macy's Backstage near you. I'm Ray Dunn on your home for NBA playoff action, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Show 97.5 The Fanatic. All right, so I read where Travis Kelce and Tay dined a Mother's Day little family thing at Tallulah's Garden there.
Yeah, right here in the
Logan
city.
Square.
I'll tell you, I got to talk to Kelce.
Or is it Washington Square? Oh, it's Washington Square.
Washington Square, I think you're right.
Not Logan Square.
I got to find out who did his hair transplant.
Who?
Travis.
What do you mean hair transplant?
See how nice a head of hair he has now?
Well, you let it grow.
I don't know. I'm not buying it. Right, it looks a little...
So what would he be doing in town?
Well, they probably were getting together with Kylie and Jason, and it's easier for them to come here
Was he in the Pro-Am at the Truist? Travis? Jason was.
No, I don't think he was.
Travis wasn't?
No,
Jason was. But if they're coming for Mother's Day, it's probably easier for them to come here than...
Well, why didn't they say they were out with Jason?
I mean, to the largest umbrella of audience, Taylor's the intrigue point.
Yeah, but Travis...
What day were they there, though?
Family were like, why wouldn't
Yesterday.
they just include...
It was Mother's Day.
Yes.
Yeah,
Apparently,
Mother's
they were
Day.
there with both moms, and then there was also Jason and Kylie.
Oh, Jason was there.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't
From
read
what I
I
read.
didn't read that.
I don't know if that,
What mom?
Lord knows
Taylor's
what I saw.
mom?
Apparently.
Really?
That's social media. Be honest with you, I didn't do a deep dive into who was with them, but from what I read in the comments, replies. And,
I just saw Travis's hair, and I was
Yeah, in
distracted.
Tallulah's Garden, there comes Tay walking by you.
You like Tallulah's Garden? You go there?
Oh, yeah, I've been there. Nice.
Is that a Steven Starr joint as well?
No.
No?
It's, what's her name? Amy Alexi. Chef.
You're correct. Yeah, it is Amy Alexia.
Yeah.
That's right.
All
You
right.
got to go. Dude, Philly's great, dude. Great golf, great restaurants. Everything we need is here. An hour to the beach. I was just saying this yesterday in Ocean City. Like, we're lucky where we live. Mike won't come over to Jersey, but other than that.
I go to Jersey, but it goes straight through Jersey.
Yeah, you go all the way down the shore.
Yeah. All right, let's go back to the phones. Dave in Havertown. Dave, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. What's up, Dave?
Hey guys, just wanted to say that the show's been awesome since you guys been doing it. Just wanted to bring up a couple of things.
Yes, sir.
One, I covered the Tourist Championship the last couple of days.
Oh, nice.
And the course was awesome. And also, some of the golfers I spoke to, including Rory McIlroy, Keegan Bradley, Ricky Fowler, and Justin Thomas, all in favor of bringing more PGA events back to the Northeast, including stops in Philadelphia.
Yeah, I know they were saying that. They thought the old school feel of that course was really different for them.
And then in the post-event press conference, I asked Sepp Straka about the fans of Philadelphia, and that's where he mentioned about the Eagles with the Georgia connection.
Ah, look at you, man. How about you? Getting that question in there for the world.
Exactly, because everybody wants to know, saying, is Philadelphia passionate about their fan base? Of course we are.
That's good work by you, Dave.
Oh, yeah, it's all about timing for everything, especially tonight. I think the Sixers will end up with a top 3 pick.
Top 3 pick.
Yes.
All right, I like it. Now, if they get 3, I go, If they get 2, I'm good. If they get 1, I'm ecstatic.
And also, what I'm thinking is what the NBA should do is what the NHL just did for their draft lottery, which is have it live. Because if you do it pre-done, we already know what's going to happen. The Sixers won't end up with something like that. Honestly, they should do it live next year if they continue on with this format.
I think you're right. I couldn't make heads or tails out of the NHL draft, nor could Bill, but I guess you could do it that way and confuse everybody. Right? What happened to the days when you would just, there wouldn't be the sophisticated math equation?
It was confusing.
Like, why can't they do it like they do the PA lottery?
Yeah, right before
and a ball gets sucked up.
right before Jeopardy.
Right. The
Yeah.
Pennsylvania lottery. Yeah, just the big ball gets sucked up. Oh, you get number 2.
Yeah. Can't they just put... See, here's what I would like them to do.
Huh?
Instead of doing it with numbers and making it all confusing, why can't you just drop, 10 balls that have a Sixers logo, 20 balls that have some... You know what I mean? Base it like that, and then, boom, the ball pops up, and it's, Sixers won.
Yeah. By the way,
Would that be the easiest thing to do?
It would be. Back to the truest thing, the concessions. Oh, my God. Dude.
Good? Expensive?
Expensive. You get a mixed drink for $22.
You couldn't slide into the media with your credential?
No, I didn't slide it.
They don't have alcohol there.
Yeah, they don't give you alcohol as a media member.
I'll tell you that they gave us a delicious. I had this chicken taco on Thursday at the media tent. That thing was loaded up with meat and onions, and it was delicious.
It was all right.
Well, you didn't like that it was chicken thigh. You would have preferred the breast.
Bill gets impressed. He's like,
Everything's great to Bill.
Yeah,
I do
everything's
like
good.
Bill's.
Everything's great.
Bill's outlook is refreshing for like working with someone every day. Everything's great to him.
I am a very critical eater though. Like I need good food.
Get this. Bill's father was a police officer. Bill still doesn't know what move is.
No. In my defense, once you mentioned it and I looked it up, I didn't put 2 and 2 together as the move bombing, but I know what you're talking about now because I've seen a documentary about this. But I was 2 when it happened. I know I should remember.
Goes to me. Didn't they make a movie of that? He doesn't know his history. It's only through movies. That's how he knows it.
I was 2.
Yes. And how old were you when they signed the Declaration of Independence?
I wasn't yet born.
But you know about it, right?
I believe it happened here in 1776. Is that what that Independence Hall is down there?
Yeah, let's go to Vicente and Lansdowne, Bill's favorite caller. Vicente! Hola, amigo!
Hola, amigo. Mikey Miss. Buenos dias. How are you?
Fantastic today. Muy bien, gracias.
You had a nice Mother's Day with your family?
Yeah, it was nice.
Yeah, that was great. My daughter came over to pay respect to her mom.
Ah, very nice.
Yeah. So anyway, we were watching this weekend the amazing performance of the Fighting Phillies. And it's wonderful because tonight we're going to witness it physically in person at the CVP.
Oh, you're going to the ball yard tonight?
Yes. We're looking forward for another Schwarber.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm telling you, man, that dude, when he comes to the plate, is must-see TV.
Yeah. Right. We're going to stop the Cardinals putting the brakes on their winning streak.
Yeah.
You know?
Uh-huh.
And how about Kyle Schwarber, man? What a wonderful Mother's Day gift. One home run for his mother and 1 home run in the 8th for his wife as a mother of 2 children.
Let me ask you a question. Is home run in Spanish yon run?
Home run.
Yeah, did they say yon run?
No.
No? JONRON? Yon run?
Carrera en la base.
Ah, okay. All right.
Home base.
Okay, you got it.
I never listen in Spanish. I always listen.
Oh, really? You don't listen to the Spanish broadcast? I love listening to Spanish broadcast.
Sometimes it's not very familiar because it's like Puerto Ricans or Caribbean Spanish, so it gets me off, throws me off. Anyway, the Carl Schwarber, do you think, I'm asking you a question as a manager, do you think next year the Phillies will extend his contract? You know, consider that he already has...
They have to. They must. They have to. They cannot allow a home run hitter to leave their team. Just can't.
Exactly. Correctamundo, because he's only 32 years old.
Exactly.
And he's two more home runs to get 300 in his career of 10 years since 2016 with the Cubs. You know, and he's the best bomber ever.
He and Aaron Judge right now are the most dangerous hitters in the league.
Oh, you got it.
Yeah.
We're going to face the Yankees later on in the fall.
There you go. All right, I'm going to give you a play-by-play in Espanol.
Okay.
When Kyle Schwarber hits a home run. You ready?
Yes.
Golpeo esa pelota a una milla de distancia.
Wow.
How was that?
A mile in distance.
How was that? Was that pretty good?
That was pretty good.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you very much.
You're Spanish.
Thank you.
Muy bien.
Muy bien, amigo. I said he hit that ball a mile.
That was good, Mike.
Thank you.
You've been taking Spanish, haven't you?
I'm trying. 610-632-0975. It is the Mike Missanelli Show. It's right here on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Philadelphia.
Show. Another graduation season has gone by, Bill, and another graduation season has gone by without anybody asking me to be a commencement speaker. It was only my lifelong dream.
Really?
That and being a talk show host, and also being a game show host.
Game show host was the big dream.
Yeah, I've only done one of those. So, and you know, it's never going to happen. I'm resigning myself to the fact that nobody will ask me to be their commencement speaker.
I saw that A.J. Brown gave a great commencement speech.
A.J. Brown gave a commencement speech.
At Ole Miss.
I get Ugats.
I didn't see his whole...
A.J. Brown did it at Ole Miss.
Yeah, I saw a clip of it. I didn't see the whole thing, but I liked what he said.
I couldn't even get Cabrini all these years.
I think
Missanelli, Cabrini,
A.J. said something.
Worked out.
Success isn't owned, it's rented, and the rent's due every day.
Is that what he said?
Pretty deep.
That is deep.
Pretty deep stuff. So have you... do you have to petition to become a...
No, you don't petition.
Should we go out there? Do you want me to help you?
Nah, it's like now it's begging.
Where'd you go to high school? Maybe you could do the commencement speech at a high school.
They've never asked me at my high school.
Is that Bristol High?
Yeah. Never even asked me at my high school.
Wait, there was... When you did the parade through Bristol, you...
I want to do it for pay.
But you were
pay these people.
When you did that parade before...
Yeah, I was in the caboose.
You were in the caboose. Who led it?
Jeff Manto.
Now, did Manto ever do the commencement speech at Bristol High?
I don't know.
Are you trying to tell Mike that he's behind Jeff Manto in line to do the commencement speech?
Yeah, I'm just trying to find this out here. But like Penn State, here's the problem for you. Penn State's got tons of alumni that they could choose from.
Yeah, they usually get big names. I'm talking about like a small college around here might want to.
You don't have a connection though, and you put down Temple at every second.
I'm not like
you
a
get.
famous Penn State graduate.
Let me ask you, how upset you going to be in 2035 when this year's Temple commencement speaker Ray Dunn from ESPN?
Ray's got a shot. Ray's got a shot.
Has Nagandi ever given the commencement
my
speech?
window is gone.
I don't think so. Feels like he had to have, right?
I would feel like Nagandi would probably be the first in the sports talk world that went to Temple. Right? I'm wondering.
And they would preach a positive message. He and Johnny Clark would be a tag team. Commencement speech.
Oh, there you go.
There would be sunshine here, sunshine over there, and sunshine over there.
2015.
Triple
Nagandi.
Sunshine. Nagandi did 2015.
A decade ago. It's been a decade since Nagandi did commencement.
What about Zoom Off?
I want to say he had to have done it at some point.
I remember for my law school one at Temple, Ed Rendell did it, and the law market was like not very good. Like a lot of people weren't getting jobs, and he reminded us of that at our commencement speech. Like, I know the market's terrible right now, and a lot of you are wondering what you're going to do after graduating. It was like, oh man, this isn't what we want to hear right now. We just went to 3 years of school. No one has a job.
You became a successful personal injury guy nonetheless.
Yeah.
Look at
but the true dream.
The story of Bill Colarulo, success story.
No, the true
off
dream
the charts.
was working with you and Ray Dunn.
Now, Gettysburg hasn't asked you to come back?
No, you believe this? You would think Gettysburg College at least.
Yeah, I'm thinking if I get just like Harcum could get me. You know what I'm saying? Like, Philly Community College, like something. I can't get anything, Ray.
I'm sorry to hear that. We could work on it for next year. I feel like if you gave us the project earlier.
I don't want to have to lobby now. And I thought, my reputation was already out there. Somebody would have asked me all this time. Nothing. I get nothing.
What's your thoughts? And maybe you're going to be a little jaded because you've never been asked, but
thanks.
With NFL players being asked to give commencement speeches.
Listen, I don't know. Ole Miss, like, I would.
Now, how about Kelsey's wife? Kylie Kelsey gave the commencement speech at Cabrini.
Yeah, that's what I mean. She did. Did she go to Cabrini?
Yeah, I think she was.
She went to Cabrini.
Wait, is Cabrini going under?
Yeah, that Villanova acquired.
That's right. That's what I thought.
They're acquiring everything. Rosemont, they just got.
Vatican City.
Yeah.
Cabrini used to be another school, right?
No.
Was it always Cabrini?
Yeah. Bill and Philly history. Here we go.
Wait, what am I thinking of?
I don't know, man. Let's get back to the phones.
This is
Let's get back to the phones. Wait a minute.
Oh, I'm thinking of Arcadia.
That became Beaver.
That was Beaver.
Beaver. Went to Arcadia.
Yeah, they had to change
for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
Reggie is called. Where in the world is Reggie? Where in the world is Reggie? He's in Montana. What's up, Reg?
Good morning, Mike. Good morning, Ray.
Good morning, Reggie.
Bill. How y'all doing?
How you doing?
All right. I'm good. I'm in Eden, Edon, Eden, Ohio.
Oh, you're in Ohio.
Yeah. I'm
Oh,
going down to
okay.
Virginia
Eden, Ohio
for a
today.
delivery appointment tomorrow morning in Mount Jackson, Virginia. The apples that I got loaded with in Washington State on Thursday.
Let me ask you a question. You get loaded with apples. You sneak one?
No. They would normally, most food places, they give you a sample. They might give you
Oh, really? They give it to you?
Yeah.
You have to open a crate and grab one out of there?
No, because we got to seal it. Once
okay.
I had to seal it. It's a refrigerated unit, so they got to keep it sealed so that the apples don't.
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
What did they tell me? Continuous 33 degrees in the refrigerated unit, so the apples.
Exciting
stay
life,
fresh.
dude.
Yeah. Two things. And slightly changed what I spoke with the young lady about. Bill has not been invited, so I was going to say I'm probably not surprised that Bill has not been invited to Gettysburg.
Bill's going to give. Bill's going to give a speech at Gettysburg about the move riot.
Right.
That's coming up. He read about it.
The possibilities, the probabilities. He can do that. The probabilities, the possibilities, the maybe-abilities.
Yeah.
But I listened to your and watched, as Bill recommended, to watch the video when you were interviewing Daryl Morey Eel, because he is slippery. Oh, man. And I'm thinking, what GM relies on Las Vegas odds for him to do his job? Because he mentioned that about how Las Vegas had the Sixers. And I go,
we're third best odds. Well, he's saying because everybody thought we were good, we thought that we were also good, and we needed something just to sustain our goodness, and so that's why he got the veteran players.
Oh, so when he talked about winning, he was talking about winning as far as playing either slots or whatever game he might play, because he wasn't talking about.
No, he was legitimately thinking they had a chance to win, and to enhance that, veteran players with game experience, playoff experience would have helped the squad. That's what he was trying to say.
Veteran players, but of a certain age group, and when they're on the exit.
No, you're absolutely right. He is oblivious to age making players' abilities lessen.
Right.
Yeah, I hear you. And that was my thing. At the start of the year, that was my thing. Dude, you got to read the tea leaves here.
Yeah, and I don't like his tea leaves. I never did, because he doesn't give me any substance when he's talking. People can generally say, oh, he didn't say nothing. People say things, but there was no substance to me to what he was saying.
Listen, if I take Daryl Morey, try to be objective, he legitimately thought that they would be a really good team. Without giving any consideration to the fact that Paul George could be a mutt, and he's an older mutt, without giving any consideration to Joel Embiid not being able to play at all, and without giving any consideration to the fact that the Eric Gordons of the world were 73. 610-632-0975. Mike Missanelli Show continues.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Open up against the Cowboys. I'm Ray Dunn. This update is brought to you by Bradford White Water Heaters. When you need a new water heater, choose one that is built to be the best. Choose Bradford White. This morning on the station, Mike Tirico announced that the Eagles will open their season on September 4th on Thursday Night Football against the Dallas Cowboys. For the Birds, it's the first opener at home since 2019 and the first time that the Eagles and Cowboys have opened up against one another since 2000. The full NFL schedule will be released Wednesday night at 8 o'clock, but expect a couple of big-time matchups to be announced over the next 48 hours. The Phillies took 2 of 3 over the weekend over the Cleveland Guardians, including a 3-0 win on Sunday Night Baseball last night. Kyle Schwarber hit 2 home runs. Zach Wheeler threw 7 scoreless innings, and the Phillies finished their road trip 5-1. They return home tonight to host the Cardinals at 6:45. Christopher Sanchez getting the ball down there at Citizens Bank Park. Tonight in the NBA, the draft lottery is at 7 o'clock. The 76ers need their pick to be top 6 to keep it. The Sixers' chances to get the top pick in the draft is 10.5%. This update's also brought to you by Electrical Workers Local 269, the Electrical Training Alliance. The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers Local 269 and the Electrical Training Alliance can offer a career with no college debt. To learn more, go to IVEW269.com. I'm Ray Dunn, your home for NBA playoff action, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
We got the news and new coming up at 12. I'm still stunned by this Daryl Morey record. Now, hold on a second. I got to check this closer because R.C. Buford, as the general manager of the San Antonio Spurs, include 5 NBA championships. 99, 2003, 2005, 2007, 2014. The Spurs under Buford averaged 57.5 wins per season. Now, you're kidding me, right? This. Let me see how many wins he has. Hold on a second. Hold on. We got Daryl Morey with 865 wins. Yeah. R.C. Buford has 966 wins and 5 championships. Come on now.
Yeah, but everything you're talking about, regular season wins have not been an issue for the 76ers until this year. What we care about is playoff success. What we want is to get out of the second round. What we want is NBA
he
Finals.
said playoff success.
He's never been to a finals.
But he said his playoff record is better than anybody. It's not better, obviously, than R.C. Buford.
So it's not better than R.C. Buford.
Not better. It's better than Riley. It's better than Sam Presti. Overall wins. I don't know about playoff wins.
He said
playoff wins.
Deeper playoff runs. Deeper playoff runs.
Deeper playoff runs. How could it be deeper than somebody who's won 5 championships?
It can't. That's why it's. I mean, if we can try to.
And what did Riley win? How many championships?
As a general manager?
As a GM.
Or at least, 2 or 3? How many did he win?
At least 2. We're talking the 2 LeBron ones.
Yeah, he had the 2 with LeBron.
I'm curious, again, if we're going, he legitimately might be playing the title game here because Buford, I think, is the CEO now of the Spurs. So technically, as an active executive, he doesn't have the general manager, the president of basketball operations label. So if he wants to keep...
He's still the active executive. He's the guy who's running the franchise.
He's chief executive.
Well, but Morey's president of basketball operations.
But I think the chief executive also looks over that business and all the other. I'm just saying he might be playing the title game. I know we made the joke earlier. I legitimately think I wonder if you
he's
give
being
credit.
that sneaky.
Well, I wonder if they give credit anything to Buford's record since he took over as CEO for them because I think that was a couple of years back now at this point. I honestly think he could be playing the title game. Also, it's hilarious. Bob Myers doesn't have a job. Otherwise, we wouldn't even be having this conversation.
True.
All right, so Buford is no longer. He's no longer the CEO.
But wait, Bob Myers
CEO at all? I thought he was CEO.
His record as GM stops at 2018, 2019.
Yeah, I think that's when he got elevated.
Okay, so
he's elevated out of the general manager spot.
So he's not in consideration,
I guess. But he says history, which you can't go history on me
because then Bob Myers would be in that equation,
right? And R.C. Buford and. Count whatever dynasty you want in the NBA.
Yeah, Bob Myers doesn't have those kind of wins, though.
Yeah, he's 4-time champion.
Yeah, but he doesn't have the number. Right? How many wins could he possibly have?
No,
probably doesn't even have 500.
Well, he's also the reason that Morey doesn't have a ring, probably.
Yeah.
Well, but Morey said deep playoff runs, and I think you could make the argument Bob Myers has more deep playoff runs with 4 titles. Bob Myers won 108 playoff games as an executive.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah. Overall, 571.
And how many playoff wins does Daryl Morey have?
I don't know. I can't find it.
I'll get it for you.
Give me his playoff wins. What do you got?
In his career, 74.
74 playoff wins.
74.
Which is less than Myers.
And Myers won 100.
Myers is no longer an executive.
No, but he said history.
He's playing that game.
No, he said history.
He said history, Ray. He said history.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying I don't know where you can find the numbers to justify this outside of him just saying it.
I'm kicking myself now because when I heard that, I should have said, "Oh, really? I don't have time to verify that. Is that really true that you said that?" I should have pressed him on that. Now I'm kicking myself.
I think he took a page from your playbook. You remember when you came on and said that you have never been wrong in all of your years on radio?
That's true.
It's how do you prove it? How do you prove it?
Well, you prove it because you've heard me every day.
Well, some have.
Yes, you have it, of course. All right, you're listening to Mike Missanelli Show. It's 97.5 The Fanatic at WPN HD1. Burlington, Philadelphia, A. Beasley Media Group station, and we broadcast from the Comcast Business Studios, powering possibilities. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's noon. Happy lunchtime to everybody. It is time now for the news at noon.
There's a whole lot going on in this world. It's time to catch up. Here's the news at noon. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
The news at noon with Mr. Ray Dunn. Ray, what do you have for today?
All right, let's start with the busy weekend for Jordan Mailata. Outside of being at the Truist Championship on Sunday, Saturday night, Chris Stapleton was, I believe, at the Link, but was here this weekend. And Mailata made his way to the concert and got a chance to deliver Tennessee whiskey right to the man himself. Here's a listen to your left tackle singing.
Brought me back from being too far gone. You can't stop me. Tennessee whiskey, you're as sweet strawberry wine. You're as warm. Yeah.
Well, listen, it's hard to really hear that properly. Was that good?
Yeah, I think it was.
Was that supposed to be good?
Yeah. Jordan Mailata has a voice of an angel.
I know he does have a good voice. That didn't sound that great there on the translation. But what the hell? The song's called Tennessee Whiskey, right?
You don't know that song?
You don't know that song?
No, man, I don't know that song.
Come on. I'm not even in the country.
Chris Stapleton was a baseball player.
I'm not even in the country, but I like that song.
I don't even know what it is.
Now, I've heard another
Tennessee
rendition
whiskey.
of this.
What?
Tennessee whiskey. Our guy coming up at 2 o'clock, Connor Thomas. I heard his rendition of this before. I would say I would take Jordan Mailata's.
He sings it?
There was, I'll say there was a karaoke that broke out at a former Fanatic employee's wedding.
Oh, boy.
What are these young dudes?
Oh, Tom's?
What are these young dudes with their country affection? What is that?
Country's become pop.
It's easier because you think you can sing it.
It is?
You can't, but you think you can.
What
Country
is
gives you the...
whiskey. I never heard the song ever.
You've
What is
heard it.
You've
I
definitely heard
haven't.
it.
I've never heard it. I don't even know what it is. You sing about Tennessee whiskey?
No, you're talking about a woman.
I like a little Jack
And-
Daniels every now and then. What's Tennessee whiskey?
He's talking about it. She's as smooth as Tennessee whiskey.
Smooth.
She's as fine as strawberry wine or sweet as strawberry
really?
wine.
Maybe we can hear that a little later, right? Can you pull that up so I can?
I'll find
my
it.
virgin ears can listen to Tennessee whiskey by Chris Stapleton, former second baseman.
It is a good jam. But no, you got to look at. I saw the video of this Mailata thing. He's standing in the hallway, on the spot, and has to sing
with the guy
acoustically in front of the guy who does the song. I think he performed pretty well.
I thought he did really good.
All right, it didn't sound that great. It's got.
Well, yeah, singing for the person, I don't know. It's a little nerve-wracking to sing for the actual.
He doesn't. He's not affected by nerves. He apparently can sing anywhere. That dude. All right, next.
All right, moving on. We got a couple of fun industry conversations to have here. I'm going to ignore the fact that this is a conversation about how big a fan Mike Tirico was of the Mets and just look at fandom in this industry. Tirico talked about when he finally gave it up, why he gave it up, and something he hates about sports media right now.
It was so pathetic in the 70s and early 80s that I promised if they won once in my lifetime, I'd move on. They won once, I moved on.
You're out.
The Rangers were the same thing in hockey. They had gone so many years, 5 decades plus without winning the Stanley Cup since 1940. In 1994, they won the Stanley Cup. I moved on. And I think professionally, too, you start to get in this and start covering it nationally, you realize you can't have fandom seep. Now, people do now. And it bothers me. I don't like watching SportsCenter or other shows on ESPN where the anchors are talking about who they're fans of. Like, who cares? I don't care. I would much rather know the 20 seconds about something related to that team that I don't know as opposed to your fandom. Now, generationally, people kind of like it because they can relate to the anchors a bit more. So I get it. I'm just saying my personal choice is that's the way I was brought up as a journalist.
He's singing my song. That's for damn sure.
Sounds like Mikey Miss.
My brain is inside of Tirico's right there because I loathe that. I especially loathe it when it comes to Mike Greenberg. Now, Stephen A. has turned it into a silly shtick with his Knicks fandom, but I don't like it. I don't think there's any room for it. And I want to know if people like it. Like, they like it when we're fans. We're doing regional sports talk radio. We're doing city sports talk radio, Philadelphia sports talk radio. So they like it when we're on their side. But nationally, I think it's repulsive.
Like we were talking a little earlier about Temple grad Kevin DeGandhi. He makes it clear on ESPN that he's a Philly
I hate
guy.
that too. I hate when Gandhi does that.
But he's a Philly guy.
So what? So he's a Mets guy. Tirico's a Mets guy. He said, I grew out of it.
See, I understand that for Tirico, he's a play-by-play guy. I don't know if it bothers me as much when it's a sports anchor. It's not like it's skewing
I don't care.
anything.
I don't care about your fandom. What is Mike Greenberg? Why does he think I care that he likes the Jets? Shut up about it. Enough. I've had enough.
It really doesn't bother me.
It bugs the crap out of me. But we come from different schools. I was brought up to be a journalist where you had to drop your fandom at the door and be objective.
I get it when it comes to journalism, and I get it when it comes to a play-by-play. But like Van Pelt, who does Sports Center, the fact that he's a Commanders fan, don't bother
Bugs me too. I don't care about your fandom. Keep it in your pocket. You want to root for them when they're on. Don't spread through national airway. But you know what? I'm probably in the minority. I'll bet you people like it. But I know. Ray, you're a play-by-play guy. You got to be totally objective.
Correct.
Now, here, you don't have to be.
No. I like this.
Well, you're
I also
not
like that.
You're not. You're totally objective.
ESPN Plus. That's
ESPN
we
Plus.
have to walk the.
Yeah,
There
but
is
you're
no
not.
Temple slant to that. Oh yeah, Temple
you're
Radio.
Temple Radio.
I'm Temple Radio.
Yeah.
I'm sent there for Temple purposes. Yeah, it's
I
different.
don't care that Mike Greenberg grew up as a Jets fan. You became a national broadcast guy. Now, okay, enough. Move on.
All right. Well, it's keeping with media conversations here. Brian Windhorst talked about what he thought the biggest problem right now, or one of the biggest problems right now with the NBA, specifically the media surrounding the NBA. Take a listen.
So access and rapport with players has gone plummeted. Now, some would argue that that's good because the media doesn't treat the players well and blah, blah, blah. I think it's bad business. I think part of the reason why the some interest has waned a little bit is that there's more distance between the players. I think while player media is good, I think the players aren't experts at storytelling. And I think in general, storytelling about the league is on the way down and needs to rebound. And part of the reason why it's not, I don't know on the pie chart how big it would be, but part of the reason why storytelling isn't as good as it used to be is because of the physical architecture that has changed within the NBA. It's easy to avoid the media.
He's not wrong about that, as Bill would say. These are two stories that I think generate a bigger conversation. The second one we had with the fans caring that you like a certain team, and the other one was he just said, the media doesn't treat players well. That's the perception. And I would love to discuss with people why they think that's true. What do you mean the media doesn't treat players well? What does that mean? The media is supposed to kiss their ass? Like, what does it mean to you? Why would he say something like that? The media doesn't treat players well. 610-632-0975. Back after this.
We want to hear from you, so text us at 610.
So there was some big breaking news regarding the NBA and their broadcast next year, Bill. How about that?
I'm excited about it.
Michael Jordan.
Greatest basketball player of all time.
In what capacity will Michael Jordan be involved?
I don't know if they released exactly what he's going to be doing. It just said he's going to be a part of it. But I don't know what I'm assuming he'll provide some color analyst role.
I think that Michael Jordan would want to work as an analyst.
I mean, what else would he do?
I don't know. That's why I'm asking you. You think he's going to sit next to a play-by-play guy and offer analysis on a game? You think he's that type of guy? He hasn't been engaged in years.
What would be the alternative if he doesn't do that?
I don't know. Some kind of a guest spot commentary? I have no idea. That's why I gotta find out what it is.
Well, the way
wouldn't you think they would say it would be like he's going to be a broadcaster?
No, because the way that they released it, the exact quote is a special contributor.
Special network contributor.
Which, leads me to believe.
So he'll be an occasional halftime guest.
Or he'll do like a Mike Schmidt type of thing. Like Schmidt comes in with the Phillies once every couple weeks or whatever it is and provides some color. I think that's what he'll probably do.
Need him on draft coverage. And then when the Hornets make their pick, they flash the history of the Hornets drafting with Jordan involved.
So he gave that up now. He's no longer involved with that? He's no longer involved with team ownership?
I think he got his money out of that, right? He was able to cash in.
That was the end?
Let's see.
Okay.
He's still a minority owner there.
Oh, he is a minority.
Yes. Currently a minority
I'm sure he shows up at the office every day.
Yeah. Locked in. So a lot
What do
of
you think
reasons
his life is? What? You're Michael Jordan. What do you do with your life?
A lot of fishing on big yachts.
Is that what he does?
Yeah.
And he's a big golfer,
cigars, golf, maybe throw a couple
dollars. He's got to
dollars.
show up in public every now and then, doesn't he? Or does he avoid public altogether?
Well, he's not very nice to the
he's
public.
not a congenial man.
No. I mean, I'm sure he's running the Jordan brand. We know he had dinner with Hertz a couple months ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is a big-time fisherman because he's been down at Stephen Cookie's in Margate.
He has?
He was spotted there. I think it was 2 years ago because they
having dinner
because they were doing that big
that's
fishing
right.
competition.
He showed up at a ice cream place, and the people went wild.
Yeah,
and he had an entourage, and he got him right back into the big town car.
Yeah, because he was here for a fishing competition or something. He's into the big game fishing.
I wonder what if it's a burden to be Michael Jordan?
It's great that he's showing up in the media scene for probably LeBron's last season.
Well, he's got to rain on LeBron's parade.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
The retirement tour, but guess who's back?
That's nice.
Michael Jordan.
Don't forget about me type of thing.
NBC, though, putting together pretty all-star cast for their coverage.
Who's on their coverage?
Well, they got Mike Tirico and Noah Eagle. And Noah Eagle as well. And then they got Carmelo Anthony. They're going to have Jamal Crawford and Reggie Miller. And now MJ, depending on what he does.
How do you like Reggie Miller?
He don't bother me that much. I think he knows he knows his stuff.
He don't bother you?
He doesn't bother me. What'd I say? Did I say don't?
He do talk show.
He do talk radio in Philly. I still think this is hilarious. Every time this comes up, it's hilarious. Of the three of us, I'm probably the most intelligent. And yet,
most educated.
It comes off as me being like the dumb caveman of the show.
Of the three of us, you're the most intelligent?
I've got the most education of the three of us.
I've gone to school the longest.
You decided the path of most resistance.
So did Mike. Mike and I both went to school.
How have you gone to school the longest?
Well, you and I have gone longer than Ray.
I've gone longer than you.
Why? What'd you do outside of law school?
I went 4 years to law school.
Well, yeah, because you went at night.
You went 3.
Because you went at night.
No, it doesn't matter.
I did the full-time program.
I had an extra year.
I went to the better law school.
Oh, my God. You're an idiot. I swear to God.
Well, Bill's not going to be invited to speak at Widener's commencement.
Widener gave me money. I said, nah. I'm not going there.
You are an obnoxious lout, man. I swear to God.
I'm very concerned. It's only Monday in the 12 o'clock hour, and this has a strong Thursday at 11 feel to it right now.
Of the three of us, I'm the most intelligent. Meanwhile, he goes, he don't.
Listen.
He don't.
You turn it on and off. I've told you. There's times where you speak very well, and then there's times you speak very good.
When do you
know what
turn
I mean,
it
Ray?
on? When
sometimes you speak well, sometimes you speak good.
Did you say to the judge, he don't? Huh?
Your Honor.
Your Honor, he don't have enough money to fund this case. That's where I'm recusing myself.
No, different audience. You're speaking to a judge or you're speaking to...
Oh, you're speaking proper English?
Yeah, sometimes you speak properly. That's an adverb. All right?
What are you saying about our audience?
I'm saying I'm a man of the people, Ray.
And what are you saying about the people?
They're not judges. Maybe judges are listening. I know a lot of lawyers and judges do listen to our show.
And what are you saying is the difference between the judges and the people?
They prefer
he don't
a
go
more
there, right?
casual way of speaking.
Yeah, he don't go there.
We're not going to talk eloquently. We're going to talk. We're sports guys, Ray. If you're on the sidelines of a football game, you're not going to worry about how you speak. You're not going to speak eloquently. You're going to speak.
I was just interested in what you were saying about our audience. It seemed like you were trying to make a statement about our audience, and I didn't appreciate it.
I'm not saying
As someone
our audience,
that loves
no.
our audience, I think they're very intelligent, and I would hate for someone like you to take a shot at them.
That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is there's a casual way of speaking, which doesn't always become the correct way of English. Just like when you text. You don't have to worry. You shorten things. You use more... what's the word I'm looking for here?
I don't know. Maybe our audience does.
It's a more casual way of speaking.
In other words, it's okay to say wit.
Yeah. You can say wit. You can say use.
Yeah.
Now, use guys are a pain in my ass.
After the break, I'm serious about this. I want to discuss this. I want to discuss why your perception, in general. Now, I know there's a lot of people that don't agree with this, but in general, the majority of people believe the media doesn't treat players well. Please explain that to me. Please explain what that's about. I need to know, Bill. You understand? I can't get through the rest of the day without knowing why people think the media doesn't treat players well. 610-632-0975. Back after this.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Opening up against the Cowboys. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update this morning on the Today Show. Mike Tirico announced that the Eagles will open their season on September 4th, Thursday night football against the Dallas Cowboys for the Birds. It'll be their first opener at home since 2019. The first time the Eagles and Cowboys have opened up against one another since 2000. The full NFL schedule will be released Wednesday night at 8 o'clock, but I'm sure we'll continue to get a few of the marquee matchups throughout the next 48 hours. The Phillies took 2 of 3 over the weekend from the Cleveland Guardians, including a 3-0 win on Sunday Night Baseball last night. Kyle Schwarber hit 2 home runs, and Zach Wheeler threw 7 scoreless innings as the Phillies finished their road trip 5-1. They return home tonight to host the Cardinals at 6:45. Christopher Sanchez getting the ball down there at Citizens Bank Park. And tonight in the NBA, it's the draft lottery at 7 o'clock, and the 76ers need their pick to be top 6 to keep it. The Sixers' chances to get the top pick is 10.5%. This update is brought to you by Mercedes-Benz. With Mercedes-Benz, Dream Days are back with offers on vehicles like the 2025 E-Class, CLE Coupe, C-Class, and EQE Sedan. Hurry it now through July 31st. Learn more at mbusa.com/dream. I'm Ray Dunn on your home for NBA playoff action. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
26. It is the Mike Missanelli Show. It's 97.5 The Fanatic. So, stories that we're focused on today, the Phillies and Kyle Schwarber. Man, this dude, smoking baseballs. The Phillies now have won 5 series in a row. And last night, I enjoyed the hell out of Wheeler. I swear to God. I mean, that dude, he is lethal. He really is. And this is on the heels of Ranger Suarez coming up big. And a lot of people are going, see, Mike, Bill was right about Ranger Suarez. It's just a matter of time before he gets it back. Well, one game is fine. He was good. He was around the strike zone the whole night. But I got to see more.
Yeah, I got to see more as well, but it certainly was a good sign from Ranger. More impressive, only 82 pitches through 7 innings. Like that's pretty efficient stuff.
He was throwing strikes.
He was throwing strikes for sure. Only walked 1. But we know I'm not worried about the starting pitching, even though Nola rough outing on Friday night. We know how good the starting pitching is going to be. The issue is the bullpen. That's really the big question mark when you look at this team. Is the bullpen.
Your man.
He's looking better.
Jordan Romano
looking good. And Alvarado pitched the 8th last night. You just reminded me, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Beautiful thing that Alvarado does for his mom, right? Writes on the hat. He's got to get fined for that, though.
What did he write? I didn't see it.
It said, Happy Mother's Day. He wrote on the side of his hat, like, Happy Mother's Day, I love you, or something like that. Right? Do you know exactly what it said?
English?
I think it was that. Exactly that.
I think
it was in English?
It was in English. But Happy Mother's Day. But very obvious. But I feel like it's got to be a bright line rule. You can't write stuff on your hat, even if it's all good intentions and you're wishing your mom.
You use a pink bat.
It's a fine
that day. What's the difference?
Because there's rules. So they allow the pink bat. You can't write messages on your hat.
Yeah, but it's still they're acknowledging Mother's Day. What's the difference? Whether it's a pink bat or you write it.
I think that
Mother's Day, one time only.
Oh, here it is. I got exactly what it said. Was I right, Ray, on what it said? Yeah, Happy Mother's Day, I love Mom with hearts.
Why would it be in English?
Look how, that's pretty.
Yeah, I get it.
I think he's going to have to be fined. And I don't mean to be like a mom hater here.
Nah, I don't Mother's Day.
Kind of sounds like a mom hater. First you come after audience, now you're coming after the moms.
Not on Mother's Day. You let that slide.
Where do you draw the line then?
Well, from this point on, you don't write anything.
So all bets are off on Mother's Day.
Where you draw the line? At this point, no. You can do it on Mother's Day. Just you don't do it tomorrow.
What do you draw the line though? Are you only allowed to say Happy Mother's Day, I love you, Mom? What if you put another message on Mother's Day? Who's to make the rule? You see, I think it has to be a bright line rule. I'm glad Alvarado did it, but I think he's going to get fined.
Why would it be in English?
Maybe he wanted the audience to know what he was saying.
But it's to his mom. Why does he care about what the audience knows? You're writing it to your mom. She doesn't speak English.
Do we know that?
Where's he from? Is he from Venezuela? Where's he from, Alvarado? No, where's he from?
Where is Alvarado from?
Puerto Rico? Where's he from?
Venezuela.
He's from Venezuela.
Yeah.
All right. You think his mom is English? Speaking?
Speak it.
Huh?
But she could speak it.
Well, yeah, but their native language is Spanish. It's confusing. You know what else is confusing? And I need to get the answer before this is over. I even text my boy Jason. What is this belt that Rojas is wearing?
Am I right that it's because he's got the pitch comm?
A couple people texted in what Bill was arguing.
What?
The pitch comm has a battery pack. Zach Wheeler wears his on his belt as well.
Zach Wheeler wears a battery pack on his belt? I thought that the pitch comm thing was in your hat, and it's battery powered inside your hat. But why would he have the number 23 on his belt when nobody else has their number on his belt?
Well, I mean that's just for show. I feel like we.
That's for show.
But, I mean, I feel like that was pretty.
Mike
23
says
on the belt. Is
Everybody else has a red belt, including the guy including Stott, who also wears that receiver.
Yeah. See, here's the thing: you get on me for having my biased hate towards Dan Campbell. You hate Johan Rojas.
Oh, because Dan Campbell's successful, and you hate him. This guy has not arrived to the point where he can put his fancy 23 belt out there. That's all I'm saying. You gotta earn your place in this game.
So he can't wear his number now.
He's not wearing his. He's wearing his number on his belt. Nobody else is wearing their number on their belt. Did you haven't noticed this?
No.
He's got a big 2-3 on his belt buckle.
I haven't noticed it because I don't hate Johan Rojas. You're overanalyzing.
It doesn't matter if you hate him or not. Do you not notice the 23?
No, I actually did notice something Rojas does that annoys me a little. He puts the pants underneath the cleat. Have you noticed that too?
No.
Have the way do you know what I'm talking about, Ray? The way he pulls the pants down underneath the cleats.
The pants bother you, but the number 23 you didn't see.
No, but look, you look good, you play good. That's what I was always told. If Rojas feels good with the belt and the number and the chains and the
all right,
the pants.
I'm just asking a simple question. Why is it that he is wearing that belt and no one else has that belt on with their number? Why? It's a legitimate question.
I can't tell you.
All right.
Michael Johan.
Let's go back to the text board. What's the text board saying today, Ray?
Someone on the text line immediately is chiming in with, they all have numbers on their belts.
They do not have numbers on their belts. They wear standard red belts.
They said at some point in the season, all these guys have done it.
I have never seen a number on anybody's belt. So that guy is lying.
John from Clemington just sent me a picture of Bryce Harper with a white 3 on a red belt.
All right, when did that happen?
I don't know. I can't tell. He's got the Fanatic. All right, he's got the arm protector on, so it has to be a couple years ago.
White belt that he's wearing with the number 23 on it.
Just telling people are coming immediately to Rojas.
All right, coming in. They asked me, did you not see him wearing a white belt with the number 23 on it, or is it my eyeballs?
I'm looking at a picture of Bryson Stott with a number 5 on his belt.
It's a red belt.
It is a red belt with the white number.
Okay.
But that's a way.
He's wearing a white belt with a white number.
Yeah, doesn't bother me.
Just got a text. Rojas has style no one else does.
He has style now. He's got style. You know what? Before you have style, you need a game. That's my problem. You need a game to have style.
You mean like hitting 300?
Oh, stop it.
I'm just saying.
Stop with your nonsense now. Now, all of a sudden, you're going to come at me with the Rojas love.
Hitting 285? 11 ribbies?
Yeah, he's dripping.
5 stolen bases?
He's dripping down. Don't worry. Dripping down.
Looking pretty good out in the field?
Going back to initial Phillies topic, talking about Kyle Schwarber, Mike from Levittown, look, I don't love that he's only valuable at designated hitter, but the power outweighs everything. You play in a hitter's ballpark with limited power guys, you have to resign him.
Nobody cares if he's just a a designated hitter when you are a home run hitter. Name me 5 legitimate, natural 5 home run hitters. Go ahead, name them. Give me the 5 legitimate home run hitters that come to the plate this day, right now in the National League. Give me 5 guys.
In the National League.
National League.
So
that
Aaron
you go,
Judge
oh
is
my
not
God,
considered.
I fear him hitting a home run coming up to the plate. Give me 5 guys.
I'm going to have to rack my brain here. I mean, obviously Schwarber's one of them. Who else in the National League?
National League. Soto? No. He's not.
Well, Ohtani.
Ohtani,
right,
okay.
We'll go with Ohtani.
All right, Ohtani.
Who else you got, Ray?
I mean, you have to go back now because he hasn't repeated this, but Matt Olson,
but not now.
Yeah, is when he got on the scene with the Braves.
Not now.
Alonso right now is having
Alonso, all right, man, I'll give you Alonso, but he's a doubles guy too. And I don't know the legitimate. All right, we'll give you Alonso and Ohtani.
I mean, this is a 2-month sample, so this doesn't hold. But PCA right now, every time he steps up, is doing something pretty great.
Yeah, I can't call him PCA though. It's Crow Armstrong. Come on.
That's a lot.
That little guy?
You just
that
said
little guy, a legitimate home run hitter?
He's got 10 already this season.
I know, but he's not a legitimate. I mean, he's a center fielder.
Small sample size that we have in this season so far.
He's not a power slugger.
He's got 10 home
runs. But he's not a power slugger.
We just saw him with the Diamondbacks. Suarez, their third baseman.
Yeah, well, that's literally all he does.
Eugenio Suarez?
Yeah, he hits homers.
Come on.
You asked for 5.
Put him on the list. I'm vetoing that one.
You asked for 5. And I'm only kidding about PCA.
My point is you can't give 5.
Well, I was just wondering. You said last segment you like shortening things for the sake of doing what we do.
My point is you named 3. There are 3, and Alonso's kind of iffy. So You're not going to pay for a legitimate home run hitter? They're rare. That's what my point is. They're rare. That dude is the most valuable player on this team right now.
Doesn't play the field, though.
Doesn't matter. 610-632-0975. Back after this.
Andrew Salciunas.
And this song is good the way it starts.
Unbelievable last night.
Is the season over now?
No.
It's still going. Okay, good.
I don't think it's over. It can't. It could have gone over. It can't be over.
How many episodes now?
I don't. It's 6.
All right, so I'm 2 in. I'll be caught up probably by the end of the week because I watch one.
Yeah, you do. You
night.
like to binge it.
I do like to binge it. I told you I finished that whole White Lotus too. So I feel like the White Lotus was made to binge. Yeah, some of these shows you can't wait a week.
I never thought a macho man like you would fall for the White Lotus.
See, I'm not as macho as you think. You see? I mean, I am at times, but I have an open mind to things. People say all I care about is football. That's not true. Just because I won't watch Seinfeld. I'm waiting for Ray to weigh in here.
What, you want me to say that you should watch Seinfeld? What, is this a rerun of our best hits, this one? Yeah, you got to watch Seinfeld.
No, but White Lotus was good. Mobland, very good, though. Now, I was going to say something on air. I don't know if it's considered a curse.
What?
Because it's like the English slang. What they say all the time on that show.
Bollocks?
Yeah, can you say that?
I think so.
Are we? You took the chance.
Yeah, bollocks. They say bollocks a lot. It's not. I don't think it's as potent as our curse word.
I just Googled what it means.
Yeah.
Like what the literal meaning is.
Oh, really? But that's an English word. So
Yeah.
it doesn't mean anything to us here. See,
You know what it
our
means?
word translates to almost every country.
Do you know what it means, Bollocks?
What?
The literal meaning. Testicles.
Oh,
that's what it means. I didn't know that. Did you?
Really? No, I didn't know.
Neither did I.
I just thought it was.
But they say it all the time on that
I
show.
thought it was generic. Yeah. Well, it's like us saying using the B word.
Yeah, probably. It's probably.
You're
right.
B.
But it's considered a vulgar word.
Well, okay, then we won't say that.
I do love you waiting until we're past any point where that could be done, being like, yeah, it's a vulgar word.
It's not one of the.
No, it's not. Please, people.
Yeah, it's not one of the FCC words. Maybe
No,
it is.
It's English. It's different. It's a different standard in England.
Yeah.
So
Maybe if we were doing
what
sports
they say
talk in
England
London.
would not be vulgar here.
Correct.
What we say here vulgar is still vulgar in England.
Yeah, like what we said, we don't use bloody that way.
Right.
They use it
They
like
use
a curse
bloody
word.
all the time.
Yeah.
But if they were to use the word we use, they sometimes use that.
Yes.
They use the C word a lot.
You're right.
Which we don't. It's more harmful here, that C word, than it is there.
That's crazy, isn't it? See what I did there? Because they say in it a lot too.
They do?
INNIT instead of isn't it in it.
They do say that?
That's wild, isn't it?
I didn't even know they said that there, right?
I did know that.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy, isn't it?
I wasn't giving him the courtesy chuckle on that one.
So I only know it too because I told you I watch shows with captions because I like to know everything, and they spell it out INNIT all the time.
Because you're studying proper grammar. Is that why you watch it?
Yeah.
All right. So I'm perplexed as to why people won't comment on this.
On what? Wait, what part? Because we had a couple things going.
There are two things there. One is fandom from announcers. And I'm not talking about us, because I know you would like us to be more of a fan. And I'm also talking about why is there a perception that the media doesn't treat players well? How are we supposed to treat players? I want to know.
There are. I don't think it's a majority of the fan base that thinks journalists and sports talk hosts and all are too mean, but there are some. But I think it's because a lot of people want to just view their sports as fans, where we're supposed to just be supportive all the time, which I understand the supportive part, but I also think it's fair to be critical and analytical.
Well, I'm not even saying critical. Like the broad statement, the media doesn't treat players well. What exactly does that mean? How are we supposed to treat players? We're supposed to praise them for good performances and not be satisfied with bad performances. Just
Correct.
like anything else that you're evaluating, whether it be a movie, whether it be a rock concert,
a restaurant,
right? Restaurant, just any kind of review like that. So what's the difference? Why does sports have this so-called immunity? Well, it's fair to criticize or analyze anything else.
Yeah, I don't think that there's. I'm curious on the text board on this because I think a majority of fans would agree with us that they don't want that they don't want you to just be over-the-top fanboys, that they want you to be
Objective.
Fair.
To have an objective analysis.
Yeah, fair. Like, go back to your interview with Daryl Morey. Look, we're the flagship for the 76ers. You're not going to try to ask him unfair questions, but you had to ask him fair, tough questions. Like, what were you supposed to do? You couldn't just celebrate him.
Yeah, but an executive has a different perception. Like, if I did that to a player, I guarantee you people would be coming after me. I put the least little criticism of A.J. Brown. People attacked me for like an entire day. When I used the word diva to describe A.J. Brown.
Yeah.
And people went nuts. And I'm going, oh, okay, is that an example of how the media doesn't treat players well? Or was that just central to Philadelphia because he's one of our players and he's one of our heroes and you're not supposed to touch any of our heroes? But like elsewhere, people would have that perception of him.
Yeah, it's an interesting conversation. Anything on the text board on this, Ray, or no?
We got someone, I think this is back to the Rojas conversation. This is another defense of Rojas. You worry about the dumbest things. Who cares if he has 23 on his belt? Doesn't look like the rest of the team. Even if he stinks, he can still stand out. Better than the NBA players who wear orange sneakers when their colors are red and blue.
No, you can't stink and try to stand out. That's my point. That's a violation. If you, like I said, this goes back to Bull Durham. If you perform, you could be eccentric and have mold on your shower shoes.
Yeah.
There's a different standard there. If you stink, you can't try to stand out. If you haven't arrived yet, you haven't learned how to hit on a full-time basis. Now he's doing pretty good right now, so I don't. But like you can't view your catch and admire yourself in the dugout after you catch a ball. Like to me, you don't do that stuff.
Yeah, people in the YouTube chat were very angry with you about the Rojas belt. They thought it was over the top picking out on him.
Well, maybe it is, but that's the way I feel about the guy. So I'm going to be true to myself. Like when you have arrived as a player, you can do stuff like that. When you haven't, you can't think you're all that. That bugs me.
We've also got on the analysts having fandom. Texter chimed in with, I like it when Jalen Hurts trolled Scott Van Pelt after Monday Night Football because he was a Commanders fan and the Eagles beat them.
Yeah, but let's look at the other way. Do you like the fact that Scott Van Pelt wears his Commander's level on his sleeve because he grew up in Washington? Like, I could never do that. Like, I don't know. Maybe people would think that I'm a turncoat if I was on national TV and I didn't represent. But like Tirico, I'm more of an old school guy like Tirico. We just grew up in a different era. We studied journalism in a different viewpoint. Like, your fandom doesn't. Okay, everybody grows up to be a sports fan. Maybe that leads you into the profession. But once you get into the profession, it's like, okay, you're no longer that. That's the way I always looked at it. And that's why I try to be as objective as possible here. Although I do want the Philadelphia teams to win because it makes people happy here in this area.
Yeah,
Got me?
I think there's a false perception, too, where you guys are sports talk hosts, love when they stink. It's like, nah, I love when the teams are good.
Yeah, we rode that Eagle Super Bowl wave for a really long time.
And that was fun.
It made people feel good. It brightened their whole life outlook. And that's good. 610-632-0975. Back after this.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Opening up against the Cowboys, I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. This morning on the Today Show, Mike Tirico announced that the Phillies, wow, this has been a great update for me so far. Let's start this one over. This morning on the Today Show, it was announced that the Eagles will open up their season on September 4th on Thursday Night Football against the Dallas Cowboys. For the Birds, it'll be their first opener at home since 2019. It'll be the first time the Eagles and the Cowboys open up against one another since 2000. The full NFL schedule will be released Wednesday at 8 o'clock, and some of the marquee matchups will be announced over the next 48 hours. Phillies took 2 of 3 over the weekend over the Cleveland Guardians, including 3-0 win on Sunday Night Baseball last night. Kyle Schwarber hit 2 home runs. Zach Wheeler threw 7 scoreless innings. Phillies finished their road trip 5-1. They return home tonight to host the Cardinals at 6:45. Christopher Sanchez getting the ball for the Phils at CBP. Tonight in the NBA, the draft lottery is at 7 o'clock, and the 76ers need their pick to be top 6 to keep it. The Sixers' chances of getting the top pick of the draft is 10.5%. This update is brought to you by Mattress Firm. Get mashed and sleep at night during Mattress Firm's Upgrade Your Sleep Scale. Take 120 nights to love your new bed or your money back. Restrictions apply. I'm Ray Dunn on your home for NBA playoff action. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
hot. Eagles, Cowboys open the NFL season. Draft lottery tonight at 7 o'clock. The Sixers have a 62% chance to finish in the top 6. For that reason, I think they're getting 6. 10% chance to get number 1, 2, or 3.
I would love to feel confident that luck will be on their side tonight, but the way this season went, it would just kind of be not the perfect ending because it would be disastrous, but with how disastrous this season was, I'm just expecting the worst tonight. I'm expecting that pick to go to OKC.
Most successful GM in history.
Stop.
What he said, and as it proved that the numbers would say, he's right.
He said deepest playoff runs in history. The most deep playoff runs is, I think, exactly.
Most deep playoff runs in history.
Which is awesome, because if you just focus on his career and say most deep playoff runs, we've seen a lot of deep playoff runs here in the Embiid era. By his definition, because 2 Western Conference Finals is the furthest he's gotten, so that means the second round is a deep playoff run. We've been on a couple of them.
So he's including the 2 appearances in the finals.
The Western Conference Finals.
Western Conference. So that's what that's pushing him over the top.
Well, he's saying the most deep playoff runs, that would have to include the runs he's made here in Philadelphia.
Well, as an average, because the second round, getting eliminated in the second round is not a deep playoff run. So he's got to be looking at other things that he did.
I think he's got to be looking at the second round as a deep run. He won a series. A lot of people would love to win a series. We did it here.
He won a series?
Hey, listen, deep playoff run, I guess.
Okay. Let's go to the text board. What do you got? People coming at me. I know they're coming at me. Go ahead, Ray.
Good afternoon, guys. The only people who bother me with their fandom are Mike Greenberg and Mike Wilbon. Also, Wilbon with his Philly hate.
Oh, I forgot about Wilbon. He's like a big Chicago guy, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I don't know what the need of it is. Like, what's the need? Why do I care that you like a certain team? Or you grew up in Chicago? It goes without saying. You grew up in Chicago, I assume you grew up to be a fan of Chicago teams. Well, why you have to constantly remind us of it?
Yeah, I guess when you ask, like, why would someone care? I get it.
But why would a viewer care?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, why do we care that Greenberg likes the Jets? Like, what relevance does that have when he's providing
What relevance does that have to me?
Yeah.
Yeah, when he's trying to provide analysis.
On a national level.
Right. Don't waste my time about telling me how much you like the Jets and how much they've screwed. I don't care about it. You're wasting my time.
And that was kind of Tarico's point, that it's a waste of time.
Yes. All right, what is next?
Bob from Collingswood, I don't want a fanboy. I don't care about who a national guy's favorite team is. I could not agree more with Mike. It's not professional. Just give me the news.
Yeah. Now, when it comes to local announcers, I don't know how people feel about local announcers. And we could talk about that in the 1 o'clock hour. There is a lot more tolerance and acceptance and encouragement, actually, for local announcers to be homers. Right?
Yeah. Well, I think that's kind of part of their job, though. Like,
to be a homer?
Not a homer. I don't want them to go over the top with it. But when you're watching baseball, which we're doing right now, McCarthy, Kruk, Amaro, Ben Davis, yeah, they want the team to win. They're fans of the team. So I don't want them to fake it.
All right, so when Kruk, when Castellanos is up, say, come on, Nick, you like that?
That doesn't bother me because I expect it. But if I was watching a national broadcast like Sunday Night Baseball last night, if the announcer was a fan of...
That would bug you.
Yeah.
If the Carl Rabbit says, I grew up being a fan of the Cleveland Guardians, and that would bug you.
Yeah, if I'm watching a national broadcast.
So why doesn't it bug you? Similarly, and I'm not talking to you specifically, but other people, why doesn't it bug them when Greenberg or Wilbon or Gandhi or any of these other guys do that?
Because I guess it's different when you're doing a play-by-play. Like, let's take it to the NFL. When Joe Buck and Troy Aikman are doing their games, I know Troy Aikman played for the Cowboys. I know deep down he probably wants the Cowboys to win.
He never
but he never shows it.
He never does show it. You're absolutely right.
And as a play-by-play and a color analyst, I think you need to be neutral. But it doesn't bother me when Greenberg's hosting whatever one of his 300 shows he hosts on ESPN, because I feel like he's on constantly. That doesn't bother me as much. I don't know why.
All right. You're listening to the Mike Missanelli Show on 97.5 The Fanatic, WPN HD1, Burlington, Philadelphia, a Beasley Media Group station, and we're broadcasting from the Comcast Business Studios, powering possibilities. All right, let's look at it on a local basis. Who would you say is the most? I don't want to say homerish because that is kind of an insult, right? Who is more partial to their teams as far as the local announcers? Now, I don't think Merrill is, because sometimes he will criticize them. I think undoubtedly Ala Abdelnaby is.
He's a little biased towards the Sixers. Like sometimes I'll be watching the game and it's like, that's a ridiculous call. How could they make that call? And then they'll review it and the call stands.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, they even reviewed it.
Yeah. Okay. And this is it. We're having fun with this. This is like.
But he's also, I guess when you talk about him being more homerish, I think why it's shown is because he's very knowledgeable about basketball.
Yeah.
So it's like you maybe could see him being a little bit more objective than he is.
Yeah.
But he's also paid. He's an employee of the Sixers.
I understand that they're paid employees of the team, but they're really not paid employees of the team. He's paid by NBC Sports Philly.
Yeah, but I would think if we look at all three of our sports teams who get broadcast locally, because the NFL does their own thing. Kate and Ala lean more towards the Sixers. Jim Jackson and whoever the color analyst is leans more towards the Flyers.
Well, what do you mean leans?
I'm saying they're
less objective.
Yeah, and but you know it. Yeah. That's part of it.
Well, interestingly enough, the announcing team that's paid by the team are the radio broadcasters of the Phillies, who I think are the most objective. Doesn't that don't you find that odd? Like Larry Anderson will be critical.
He will.
Bransky will be sarcastically critical. They're paid by the team.
And I guess, Kruk's critical sometimes. Even though he's rooting for the Phillies, he could be critical.
Yeah, he's certainly more critical than Ala. Ala is in a hula hoop of his own when it comes to that.
Yeah. But they all...
Now the Flyers broadcast, I don't know. You can... What do you think?
No call. That's it.
Well, no call is he's legendary. But as far as the analyst goes, who's the TV analyst now? Brian Boucher.
Sometimes it's Boucher.
How's Boucher?
Well, Boucher, because he also does it on the national level.
Yeah,
I think is more objective. Yeah, because he's also doing it for major networks.
All right, quick. I got objective. I think most of them are fairly. They slant on less of the homer ism and more on just straight.
And I got to be honest.
What?
Merrill Reese, legend. I haven't listened to an Eagles game on a radio broadcast in years.
Yeah.
I'm always watching it.
Yeah.
I'm never listening to it.
Yeah.
So I couldn't tell you how Mike Quick was because I don't listen to the radio broadcast.
I listen to it on the radio occasionally. And I think Merrill will get exasperated at bad play. I think he's like an old school enough guy to think that he doesn't have to be a homer.
Yeah, I think he'll show his frustration.
Yeah. But I think by far the Sixers. How about our own Tom McGinnis? No analyst, of course. Tom's fairly objective.
Yeah, I think
I don't think Tom is a homer.
No, Tom does a good job.
Right?
Oh, I'd agree with that. I mean, this season I did 22-23 season where I pretty much did Sixers highlights every game here, felt like. And he'll get frustrated just alongside you, where he's like, what was that? What is he doing there?
Yeah.
And he'll go, I mean, the energy he puts into a great play for the team, he'll also put into one of the most boneheaded plays you've ever seen.
I totally agree with that. So, if I would have one suggestion, it would be Alex should be a little less. Homeristic.
He does a little bit. And this was a hard season to be.
Yeah, it was, because like if you're trying to praise the way the Phillies are at this particular time, it's fans are looking at it like, come on, dude.
Yeah.
Like, you never want a fan to say, come on, dude. Am I right?
Yes, I agree.
And this season pretty much played on to the entire come on, dude. Anything you say positive about them at some point is a come on, dude.
You know, everything was a come on, dude. So I think as an announcer, you have to, like, turn a little. You know, so you don't feed the come on, dude people.
Yeah, YouTube chat's been weighing in on how Harry Callis used to be. And they were saying he was very critical at times.
Yeah, Harry was straight, and Richie Ashburn was straight. So, like, when you grew up listening to those guys, you saw a certain standard on how they were presenting a game to you.
Yeah, and it's a tough. I guess it's a tough line to walk now because I don't know how I feel though. Like I like that when I'm watching the game locally. I like that they lean a little bit more, but you do want objectivity.
I don't. And that's why when it's on, if I have a choice between a national broadcast and a local broadcast, I've heard the local broadcast. I know what I'm going to get. I want to hear what the national people have to say.
I do to an extent, but not when they're wrong. Like last night watching Sunday Night Baseball, they were saying things sometimes that you could tell they have not been watching this Phillies team.
Yeah.
Like they were talking about how, Bryce Harper leading the way. No, he's not. Bryce Harper has not been leading the way this season.
Yeah.
Brandon Marsh is not one of the stars of this team. Like there are things that they say because they don't follow it.
Definitely right about that. All right, 610-632-0975. We got a lot of texts. We got Jonathan from Philly. He's coming up. The Mike Missanelli Show continues.
Connor Thomas.
Here's the thing.
Missanelli Show, 97.5 Fanatic. Here's how you get in, 610-632-0975. By the way, I wanted to give a shout-out and congratulations to the Westchester baseball team. You know, they have a nice program out there. You aware of Westchester baseball?
No, they're having a good season.
Westchester won the Division II national championship last year, dude. They go into this year's Division II baseball playoffs as the number 1 ranked team in the nation.
How about it?
Now, Division II, that's 2 divisions above where you played, right? You played Division 4?
Division 3.
Oh, it's 3?
Yeah.
Sure it wasn't 4?
Division 3.
Was it 3? Okay.
I wish there was a Division 4.
This is Division 2, Bill. So this is
there's not a lot of
division higher than you.
There's not a lot of Division 2 football programs.
No?
I mean, there are, but not like
Westchester, number 1 seed ahead of, let's see, who they had. They're Cal Miramar. Now you think, Cal, wow. You know? Miramar, out that area, probably great baseball. 2nd. University of Wisconsin lacrosse, 3rd. Bryant, 4th. Emory-Riddle, 4th. West Virginia plays Division II? What? Play Division II baseball? What is that about? How's that possible?
State.
Is it West Virginia?
West Virginia State.
Oh, wait a minute. Is this softball? Wait a minute. I don't know. What is this? This can't be baseball. I don't know. I don't know what this is. I thought it was West Virginia baseball.
No, they have a Division 1 program.
Who?
The West Virginia Mountaineers.
Yeah, well, what's this?
They're in the Big 12.
West Virginia State?
It says West Virginia. No, it's the West Virginia logo. Well, this must not be baseball then.
The West Virginia State.
Oh, this is club baseball. Oh, my bad. I'm sorry.
West Virginia, the 2025 Division II Baseball Championship official bracket, NCAA.com. Westchester, 2nd seed. East Stroudsburg and Fairmount State are in their little
this is
group of 3.
I'm sorry, this is club baseball. This is not.
Gotcha.
Gotcha.
It's not NCAA. It's NCBA.
Gotcha.
That's club.
Gotcha. Well,
Club
looks like
baseball,
Westchester's
so-
still alive, and
Yeah, all right. I screwed up. That's my bad. I take it back. But congratulations to those guys anyway.
Nonetheless.
Yeah. Division 2 is just the division. Ahead of 3.
Yeah,
All right,
a lot better.
Let's go. Let's go. I'm sorry, I had to bust your onion somewhere along the line. Jonathan in Philly, or is it Jonah? It's Jonah in Philly. What's up, Jonah?
Hey, Jonah. Oh, Jesus. Hey, guys, it is Jonah.
Hey, Jonah, how's it going, buddy? Thanks for checking in.
Of course. How you guys doing? Good to hear from you.
Good, man. How you doing?
I wanted to weigh in on the conversation going on before the break. I remember being a little kid, looking into the local announcers like McCarthy and Mel Reese. Like, I wanted those guys to be Philly fans. Like Mel Reese, I look at him, 40 years plus in the business. Like I want him to be a part of the Eagles' personality.
Mm-hmm.
I want, because I know you had said, Bill had said he hasn't listened to Merrill Reese. I had to last year because I was in New York during the Eagles-Panthers game. So I'm listening to Merrill and Mike Quick, and they're bleeding green. And it made the broadcast personal and excellent, and it made me prideful. And the same thing goes for McCarthy and, Allo with the Sixers. I want these guys to be fans more than anything else. So I was curious why, Mike,
I just don't. I'm cut from a different cloth. I grew up as a journalist, and I don't want them to be. Listen, I know what they're going to be slanted towards the team and that team's success. I just sometimes it goes over the top for me with the homerism. I don't like it.
Yeah, see, for me, I'm a journalism guy too. I'm a media studies guy. So I understand the desire for objectivity, for impartiality, but especially with a city like Philadelphia in specific, who is so prideful.
Yeah. Here's what I don't like, Jonah. I hear where you're going, and most people think like you. I don't like when they blame officials. I just hate it. I hate when people think that you're getting picked on or the officials are against you. It cheapens you, I think. And sometimes they push that narrative, and I think it cheapens the fan base.
I don't disagree. Even on a national stage, like, this is going to be a hot take with Philly fans, but people were hating on Chris Collinsworth in Super Bowl 52. I thought he did fine.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I think that when people don't hear over 100% praise, they think that the announcers, and it's unfair. It really is. They're just trying to do a job. They don't have any skin in the game.
I don't disagree at all. Same thing with the Troy Aikman argument. He's a Cowboys guy, but he never shows it.
All right, so don't you appreciate that more?
I come back to, if I found out that Tom McCarthy or Merrill Reese was a Giants fan or a Mets fan, that would break my heart.
I actually think Tom McCarthy was a Mets fan.
I think I saw that too.
He actually worked for the Mets. I actually think he grew up as a Mets fan.
I think he did too.
Because he grew up near like Trent, New Jersey.
Correct.
From that area. Yeah.
But I know he's not a player. But it's a similar thing where, like, a guy. Look, Abdul Carter grew up an Eagles fan. He plays for the Giants now.
Yeah,
that's out the window. Same thing with the play-by-play guy. Like, just because he grew up a Mets fan, he's a Phillies fan now.
Yeah,
this is his team. He travels with them, dude. And especially in baseball, 162 games, traveling on the road with that team, living through the ups and downs. They're a part of the team.
Yeah, listen. I like. The officials thing bothered me. The umpire thing bothered me. I will give them credit, though. Because of that box, they can't lie. That box, even when a call goes in favor of a Philadelphia pitcher, they can't lie.
Yeah.
And they go, well, yeah, you got the benefit of the doubt there.
Speaking of that, home plate umpire struggled a little bit last night.
Oh, that guy always struggles.
Both ways, too. Wasn't just against the Phillies. I mean,
he always struggles. He's public enemy number one in baseball. That guy.
Yeah.
I want more
Alan
Cam.
Porter. Alan Porter.
More ump cam. I want to be able to see them livid with the guy turn around. I want more ump cam.
Yeah,
that was
got
good.
Livid with him. Schwarber got livid.
Turner turned to him, and that got called on the ump cam, but we couldn't hear what he said. But what bothered me was, all right, if you're going to expand the strike zone, but he was inconsistent with it. Like, he's calling a pitch outside a strike, and then the same exact pitch, he's calling a ball the next time. Like, you can't be all over the place as a home plate umpire. You said he's always like that guy.
Yeah, Alan Porter gets a lot of complaints. He's known as now the complaint guy. Now that Angel Hernandez is gone.
Now,
Alan Porter stepped into that.
Alan Porter and your boy, Johan Rojas, seem to be friendly. I saw Rojas comes up to the plate, and Porter said something to him when they were joking around with each other. So Rojas is maybe gaining respect in the league
I
now.
think Rojas turned and said to him, "No inglés." No, he's actually trying to work and speak in English to everybody now.
You see?
Were you aware of that?
What is it going to take? I want to hear on the other side. What do you need to see from Rojas?
He just bugs me. I don't know. I can't explain it. He's got some kind of air that he doesn't deserve.
It's all because he watched that catch. That's what it's all about.
It's part of it, but he's got an air about him that I go, dude, you got to have a little more success before you have the air. 610-632-0975. Back after this.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Opening up against the Cowboys, I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. This morning, it was announced that the Eagles will open their season on September 4th on Thursday Night Football against the Dallas Cowboys. For the Birds, it'll be their first opener at home since 2019, the first time that the Eagles and Cowboys open up against one another since 2000. Over the next 48 hours, expect some of the marquee games to be leaked out, but the full NFL schedule will be released Wednesday night at 8 o'clock. The Phillies took 2 of 3 over the weekend over the Cleveland Guardians, including a 3-0 win on Sunday Night Baseball last night. Kyle Schwarber hit 2 home runs. Zach Wheeler threw 7 scoreless, and the Phillies finished their road trip 5-1. They return home tonight to host the Cardinals at 6:45 with Christopher Sanchez on the mound. Tonight in the NBA, it's the draft lottery. That's at 7 o'clock, and the 76ers need their pick to be in the top 6 to keep it. The Sixers' chances to get the top pick in the draft is 10.5%. This update is brought to you by Erie Insurance, celebrating 100 years of protecting your family's most priceless moments. Then, now, always Erie Insurance, ErieInsurance.com. That's ErieInsurance.com. I'm Ray Dunn on your home for NBA playoff action, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5TheFanatic.com.
Mike Missanelli Show. Oh, man. I got fat fingers. Sometimes you're a victim of fat fingers. So I didn't move for a little coffee and a fig bar. I hit the wrong button. I hit the E3 instead of the E4 and got to Twizzlers.
A little Twizzler action. Normally, that's not a bad purchase.
Not a bad item, but...
Yeah, but not when you wanted a fig bar. That's a different category.
Going with coffee. This doesn't go with coffee.
Different category altogether.
All right. In any event, let's go back to the text board. Ray, what do we got here?
All right. We got someone checking in on media today. Thinks the term of media is too broad a term now. Media now can mean some random person with a sports podcast or random people commenting on Twitter, not what it used to mean.
Interesting. What do you think about that, Bill? Is there a differential between legitimate media? Because everybody can break into media now. Everybody has a website. Everybody has a podcast.
Yeah, there's a difference. I mean, I don't know if I would differentiate it legitimate or not. I think it's more of there are fan-related media podcasts now. Like there are some that are designed just to be more fan-like, more positive. You know, like before, like we're looking at the Eagles, the only media, quote unquote, that was providing the positive spin on everything was Spadaro, right? He was the Eagles insider who was employed by the Eagles.
Right.
But now there are a ton of social media accounts and a ton of podcasts that are just straight fans. That's what,
all right,
what it's become.
Here's the thing. We grow up, we have an affection for sports. At least a lot of us do. You follow a certain team, you follow your home team, you're a fan of that team. When I crossed over, I can no longer be a fan. That was, without question, that was the journalistic ethic. Now, you are allowed to cross over and be a fan as you represent yourself as a journalist. Would that be fair to say?
Yeah, I agree. I think it's changed in that way.
Before it was a taboo. Now it's just included as part of the deal. You continue your fandom when you're 12, and now you get out of college and you want to do something, so you continue to be a fan. And you're able to actually get employed to do something like that.
Yeah, but I think that you could be a fan, but you can't think that you can't criticize. Like, I could hope that the Eagles, Phillies, Sixers, Flyers win, but at the same time, I can't ignore negatives with the team or with certain players or with coaches. Like, you can't only skew positive on every single thing, because then I feel like now you're not objective. You're not being taken seriously as an analyst.
So let's take Bryce Harper for an example. Star player, struggling, has 240 average. Is he immune to the criticism, or should it be included that he's struggling and it be pointed out?
No, I think that we should be able to point out his struggles. Now, at the same time, we could admit, I hope Bryce Harper turns it around. I want to see Bryce Harper turn it around. I expect him to turn it around. And as a Philadelphia fan, I want him to do that. But at the same time, I think it's fair to say, hey, Bryce Harper's not pulling his weight right now. I actually think it's impressive that this team is 24-16, even though Bryce Harper hasn't been living up to what he usually does. So I think it's fair to point it out, but also acknowledge that you're rooting for him to do it.
Okay. All right. Let's go back to the phones. We'll talk to Mikey in Overbrook. Mikey, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. What's up, buddy? Mikey? Hello? Mikey. All right, let's put him on hold here. Let's go to Chuck in New York. Chuck, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. What's up, Chuck?
How we doing, gents?
Good,
Honestly,
Chuck.
I've been calling for weeks, and I never get through.
We got our new phone system now, so you're in. We had a faulty phone system for the last 2 months.
I thought that I thought I got blocked.
No, you're good. It was the phone system, believe me.
The definition of media, I think, is a very interesting topic because I've worked in ad sales what you would call media sales, for quite some time. And I think the media in its own right nowadays, between podcasts, experiential, ads, everything is such a loose term. But yes, I think I agree with both you guys as far as like the definition of media is a constantly evolving concept.
Yeah, well, how about this general concept of the media doesn't treat players well? Because that's the perception. The perception is the media is anti-player.
I mean, I think that's you're getting paid, maybe 10% of professional athletes are not millionaires these days. If you have a concern with the way the media treats you, then yes, the landscape is in a terrible place, which it is, where you should not be able to dictate what the media says about you. You get
Well,
paid
I'm talking
millions of
about the
dollars.
fan perception. Forget the players. I'm talking about the fan perception is that the media is the big bad wolf.
No, I think that's terribly wrong. I think that as journalists, media members, your job is to be critical and open-minded.
Yeah,
of
but
course,
most
at
people
times,
don't
but
see it that way, though, Chuck. That's what my point is. Most people think the media is the devil.
I think that's you know what? Most people are jerks.
Most people would try. I love that. That covers it all.
Gentlemen, I want to say this, and this is total transparency. I got laid off last week, and I've been listening to you guys for the past, I'm in New York, but I you guys have kept me through this the past week, and I cannot thank you gentlemen in the media more than you know.
Oh, thank you, Chuck. I'm sorry to hear that happened. It's been happening to a lot of people lately. It's a terrible thing. Hopefully you bounce back.
I have no doubts. But then I wanted to go to quickly NFL opening season, opening kickoff. How did we come about the Cowboys? I know that there was conversation about the Bears that I heard Shefty talking about, but to all of a sudden give us a curveball with the Cowboys.
Yeah, it's very unusual. But now you put yourself in the network's position. They could run it back with the Chiefs, but we've seen that before. So what else would be more intriguing to include the Philadelphia Eagles and their fans in a home game?
I mean, I think you put the Lions in there. We have to play them.
Not as much the Cowboys.
The Cowboys, yes, we're going to love it. And you know what? We'll have a much stronger confidence about beating the Cowboys than we would the Lions going into start the season. But George Pickens, and I'll let you go after this, but George Pickens isn't moving anything for me. We're smoking them.
Yeah, I agree. They're a 6.5-point favorite in the game. I'm just talking from the network's perspective. They're going, okay, what kind of matchup can we give the public here?
Well, it wouldn't have been Kansas City because that's a road game. Like the Eagles have to open up at home, right? They're going to raise the banner. It's a celebration of their Super Bowl victory.
Yeah, why couldn't they have had Kansas City come here?
Because it's already on the schedule as a road game. They already know who their away opponents are and who their home opponents are. We just don't know when they are.
Okay, all right.
Like, here were the options. Obviously, the 3 division opponents, Dallas, New York, Washington.
Yeah.
Could have been the Bears. Could have been the Lions or the Rams. And then the the AFC opponents are the Broncos and the Raiders.
Yeah.
So when you really look at it,
that would be stinky.
No, they're not going to open up, I think, against an AFC.
I think the Commanders would actually be a better game.
And I'm happy it's not the Commanders because I think that's going to be a really important game when it comes to determining who wins this division. And I'm happy it's not the Lions.
That's why it would have been intriguing, don't you think?
Yeah, it would have been intriguing. But I want to see the Eagles win the opener. So I'm glad it's the damn Cowboys.
Well, you think they would lose to the Commanders in Game 1?
No, but anything can happen in Game 1. And I think that when you're going to
stack the deck, I want a good game.
It'll be a good game, but they're going to. I think they beat the Cowboys. I just think that when you have an offensive coordinator that's new, I know he was here last year. He was the passing game coordinator. We know it can take some time sometimes to find a rhythm. I didn't want one of the toughest opponents to start the year. I didn't want the Lions or the Commanders. So I'm happy it's the Cowboys.
All right. By the way, was Stephen A. on Law and Order last night? Or two? No, whenever.
Recently he was.
Recently
he
was on the new Law and Order, right? He was on.
He was on
As what?
I don't know. I just saw the clip circulating. Stephen A. on Law and Order. I'm not a huge Law and Order guy.
I don't watch the new one, so I had no idea what he could have. What was he, a lawyer or something?
At this point, his acting career has taken off to where he's in too many things for me to watch every clip where he's in.
Charles blasted him for that. He said he did
Really?
too many things.
I did see that. That is overexposure. If now you've reached the point where Stephen A. is overexposure, I feel like you missed the last 5 years of our timeline here.
That's the truth. 610-632-0975. Our old friend Spanky's on the other side. Don't go away.
ESPN's Adam Schefter.
Like Missanelli show. Bill, you know that commercial? I forget what insurance company it is, but it's like Dr. Rick is trying to prevent the people from becoming their parents.
Yeah. It's a great commercial.
The one where the guy goes, I guess there's a reason why they don't call it a clean bike. The guy had a dirt bike.
Yes.
Oh, the bathroom code is 4571. Right? I swear to God, I saw about 5 of these people at the Truist Championship.
Oh, really?
You know, it's like you're standing, like I was waiting. I was adjacent to a green because Rory and Colin Morikawa were coming up, right? So this guy decided that he needed to broadcast to the rest of the people what was going on. You know, he goes, that's Rory's approach. He's got about, it looks like he's got about 134, which meant he hit the drive exactly 311. I'm sorry. That's Colin Morikawa. Morikawa's only got 122. Come on, man. It's like the commercial.
Yeah,
you know? What makes people do stuff like that?
Well, I think in those instances, they just want to sound knowledgeable. But yeah, those are really good. They're progressive, I think. Is
that what it is? Is that what it is?
Progressive.
Yeah, I swear to God, I was thinking of this.
You do any of those? You do any of them? Like,
I don't say a word, man.
No, the ones who I'm talking about some of those commercials.
No.
The guy who parks really far away at the game.
I don't know. I made fun of that. I made fun of that on the airwaves.
You made fun of Ray.
Wait, no, and I stand by it. I would still do it.
Ray admitted that he was doing it.
Oh, you didn't say who it was. You asked the question.
This random guy. They're walking with his girlfriend. I go, if you're with a girl, you can't. You have to pay the money for the parking.
I would do it.
Forgot about that. You made fun of that one.
Ray would do it.
I 100% would do it. I'm taking Broad Street anyways. Kidding me?
Well, on the subway. You take the subway. That's different. I'm talking about rolling in with some beat up, Toyota.
Exactly. She already knows. If she's in my Toyota going to the game, she knows she's with a broke man. She doesn't have to have the idea of luxury.
You don't have to show her that you're broke by parking 5 miles away.
She'll take one look at the Toyota and say, man, I don't even know if you can afford parking. She'll probably look at my car and offer to pay for parking.
If you pay for parking, she goes, well, listen, at least he's paying for parking.
No, she'll enjoy the first drink in there. Don't worry.
All right. Come on, man. Let's go to Spanky in Overbrook. Spanky, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. What's up, Spank?
What's up, Mike?
How you doing?
Good, brother. Hey, man, I want to tell you, I wanted to call in because I haven't talked to you in a while. I heard that interview you did with Daryl Morey, Morey. I'm glad you called him to the carpet, man, because I'm sick of this team. Like, I don't have no interest in this team no more.
I'm sick of this dude.
I feel some type of way, Mike, because, look, when they before the season started, right, when they got Paul George, I'm a fashion dude, right? I like to look nice.
Yeah.
And I bought this 6ers shirt. It's real pretty. It's like a cream with the Sixers logo, like the Philly, and it's real beautiful because I like to match it up with my sneaks and stuff. And I said I'm a rocket. Right around this time because I thought they was going to be in the playoffs. It's perfect for this weather. I'm like, I ain't crack it open. It's brand new, sitting in the closet. I can't even wear it.
Listen, I hear you. Think about me and Bill and Ray. We were without a season to talk about.
Yeah, this is crazy, Mike. Man, I mean, listen. I'm glad they gave the young boys some light to see if they can play and stuff. But for the life of me, I'm trying to figure out 2 things. One, I don't want Embiid back anymore, my man, and they can't get nothing for him. So I guess it is what it is. And I want to know, why did they shut down Maxey like that? They said his finger was hurting. Like, are you serious? Like.
Because they realized it was a loss. They realized it was a lost season. They figure, what's the point of us playing him? He gets hurt. That's another problem that we have to overcome. So they just shut the whole season down. But they didn't shut it down until late, and they gave people the hope that they were still trying to play for the playoffs, which is disingenuous, I think.
Yeah, Mike, man. I mean, I can't believe. And listen, Mike, I'm looking at the landscape of the East, and Indiana.
How about the Pacers, man?
Detroit,
how about that team? I know.
Yeah, Detroit, like who they gonna beat? I don't really see, like, these young boys is coming up right now, and the East is changing. They got some big young boys.
You're absolutely right. I was saying that a little while ago. They're now behind a couple more teams in the pecking order.
Yeah, man. Orlando, Indiana, Cleveland. Like this is. They done. And I'm just so disappointed that we don't have really nothing to look forward to but the same.
And
old,
you know what's funny,
I'm
Spag?
done.
All those teams built that from a different way than the Sixers did, with him tacking on stars, trying to win this. They built it. All those teams built it.
Yeah, man, it's crazy, man. And Mike, I told you too, man. I'm not too far from y'all down there. If you ever traveling up City Ave, and you know the AutoZone next to the in the shopping center where Ross and stuff is.
Oh yeah, where Michael's is. Yeah.
Yeah. If you come.
Oh no! I know where you are. Way down by Applebee's.
Yes.
Yeah, I hear you.
AutoZone, the store manager there. You ever running that way? Pop in and holler at me.
I will, man. All right, Spank.
Okay, brother.
All right, talk to
Okay.
you. Yeah. What is it a violation for me to roll into Applebee's for a little dinner? Like the $10.99 special?
I don't know, eating good in the neighborhood, man.
Wait. 5 minutes ago,
Hold a second.
me paying for parking is
that a violation for me to go for the $10.99 entree?
If you're going strictly for the way you talk about food, if you're going strictly
Right,
for
do you
the
think he's
pricing
being
of it,
serious?
I'm saying it's a violation.
No, I am being serious. You think it's a violation for me to go into Applebee's and grab a burger?
Ray and I
Like
will
a
buy
burger-
you
a burger
We'll
entree.
buy you a gift card and you use it at Applebee's. What's the chances
I'm
of that?
deadly serious. I'm talking about like a burger entree, like can I roll into Chili's because they're advertising that burger entree now? Can I roll in there, grab a burger?
I think you could, but you wouldn't.
I might.
I think you should.
I actually think that those places give you a nice burger.
Yeah, you get a good burger.
Yeah, I wouldn't order, like flounder. You know what I'm saying?
I think I told you.
Would go in there and order a burger entree. A burger, cheeseburger deluxe with little fries,
I think I told you I had a killer burger on Saturday night at yesterday's down outside Ocean City.
You ate a burger?
Not only was it a burger, it's like their smash burger. So they put it inside 2 flour tortillas and they grill it like a quesadilla. It's basically like a quesadilla, but with a burger inside
I
of
don't
it.
want a burger quesadilla.
Dude,
I want
I'm telling you.
I want a burger.
They should start making a burger quesadilla at Garage in Fishtown.
Dude, this thing was phenomenal. And
a
then
nice
good
item.
fries on the side. I went all out.
Mm-hmm.
Also had cheesesteak egg rolls. And then followed that up with chocolate chip cookie dough in a pretzel cone.
Would you have to work out for 3 hours after that? Oh, I
No.
gotta work out. I ate some bad food. Gotta work out.
I didn't work out.
You didn't?
It just worked out of me pretty quickly. If you know what I mean.
I have no idea what you mean. Why don't you explain?
It was excellent, though. Well worth it. Well worth it down at yesterday's. I think that's how it's pronounced.
I know that place. It's off the beaten track. As soon as you come in, you roll into Ocean City.
Yeah, it's right over to 34th
What would
Street
make
Bridge.
you go there?
It's not far from where we are in Ocean City. So Ocean City itself, like on the island, not a lot of great places to eat dinner.
So you came out, went all the way to a bar?
We went, yeah, it's not all the way. It's like less than 10 minutes.
I know where it is. I
Yeah.
know exactly where
Well,
it
you
is.
come right
It's
over
coming
the bridge.
outside the city limits.
Yeah, right over the bridge, and then they have a liquor license because Ocean City's dry.
It's almost in Marmora.
Correct. I thought it was pronounced Memora.
Well, whatever it is.
I don't know which one it's called now. I've never heard anyone say Marmora. Anyway, it was very.
I don't know how to pronounce that.
It was very good.
Is it Marmora or Marmora?
I thought it was Marmora, but maybe you're correct. Anyway, very good. But that caller, Spanky, says he's out on the Sixers. If the lottery balls fall the way we're hoping they fall tonight, is there any fan out there who would say, I'm still out? Like if they go number 1 overall.
If they get Cooper Flag?
And they're getting Cooper Flag.
No,
I think every one of us would be all in.
Absolutely, people would be in.
Could you imagine? Daryl Morey would be handed a gift. Josh Harris would be handed a gift. If they get the lottery ball to fall their way, number 1 overall, they bring in Cooper Flag. I think we're talking about whether or not they're NBA contenders next year.
Oh, my God. Listen to you.
Could you believe this?
No.
I'm talking about you think about the 180 that could occur tonight.
I don't think they're NBA contenders.
I had a nice production meeting with my brother yesterday, which was really
A production meeting with your brother?
Yeah, because I said there's one of 2 ways this goes. Like, if they were to get the number 1 overall pick, our entire Tuesday show would be Bill saying, you know what?
They're in.
I'm back in.
I'm back, baby.
And Mike saying, you are lost.
Bill can be bought at the drop of a pin.
All right.
Honest to God. You could be swayed like a click of the...
Play with me for a second.
No.
All right? We got...
No, I don't have no desire to do that.
You got Joel Embiid, Paul George, Tyrese Maxey, all healthy. You add in Cooper Flagg, and now you got Jared McCain,
Hold it.
Quentin Grimes.
Stop it. You just repeat the first thing you said.
All healthy.
We're
imagining
on what
here.
planet do you?
We're
you can't
we're
imagine.
playing a
you
game
can't
here.
imagine that. Imagine something realistic.
Daryl Morey told us they're optimistic. He's trending. He's still trending, Mike. He's still ramping up.
You mean Daryl Morey couldn't tell me what they did to the knee?
No, but
that one.
Just bear with me. Assuming that Joel could be healthy, and Paul George is healthy, and Maxey's healthy, and then you add in Cooper Flagg, a healthy Jared McCain.
No,
you're still not in.
No, because I know they're not healthy. There's no way that you're going to get me to buy into this Embiid Paul George thing. I can't do it.
Well, Paul George, his injury wasn't that bad. It was more about whether or not he had the desire to play. That was what we were critical of.
Well, that's part of the whole equation.
So there's a lot of things that have to happen. But it all starts tonight with the lottery balls. But I'm telling you my prediction for tonight. They get the 7th pick. It goes to OKC. This disastrous season will get even worse.
You know, I don't think that. I really don't. I think that they're finishing in the top 6. In fact, I think they're going to get 6.
And that doesn't move the needle for me.
No, it doesn't. But I don't think they're falling out of it. That would be a total disaster. I don't think that the karma for the Sixers tonight is total disaster. But I don't think it's 1 either.
But if it is 1, you're in. You're back.
No, I'm not.
Ray, you would be.
I'm no longer.
Ray would be all in. Yeah, Ray would be all in.
I'm sorry. I'm no longer in on Embiid George as a duo that they're going to be healthy or willing to play. I just don't see it. I'm sorry. I think that ship has sailed for me, man. I've seen enough now where guys aren't getting healthier as they get older or have more of a desire to play when they get older. The Sixers are behind, even at full strength, if they get Cooper Flagg, are behind 5 or 6 teams in the East.
But you heard Daryl. They're not going to be able to keep these teams together in the East.
He's talking about it in the future, not for next year.
Yeah,
next year they're all going to be together.
No, but even with all that being said, and Cooper Flagg would have to transition to the NBA game, but there is a chance.
He's going to be fine.
There is a chance, though, that these guys could be healthy next year. There's a chance.
There's no chance. Where is there a chance? What do you, like, you believe in fairies? And
Look, I saw Joel Embiid in the postseason against the Knicks average over 30 points a game. I still got to believe that there's some of that in him.
Tomorrow, if they win the lottery, is going to be my favorite show since I don't even know. Because I can't wait.
You in, Ray? You in, Ray? Oh, that's what it's going to be. 610, baby. Who's in?
Yeah. All right, anyway, we got to get out of here. Everybody have a great rest of the day. Thanks for listening, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.